Hey guys, brand new podcast. I am in Durham, North Carolina, wrapping up my second show. I'm in between shows. Birdie Boy Relapse Tour continues. I am off next week, and then we are back. We are back in Newark, and then Poughkeepsie, Worcester, Massachusetts, New York, Brooklyn, Long Island. I mean, I think we're all over. Where? Providence, Rhode Island. We're in Providence? I don't think I've ever been to Providence, Rhode Island. Anyway, we've got a bunch of tours. We are wrapping up at the Greek. Well, no, that's not my last date, but I'm at the Greek May 5th. Cinco de Mayo. Get your tickets now. It is a month. It is 2 months out, but trust me, you don't want to wait till the end. It's gonna. I would get your tickets right now. Make sure you get a good seat. It's such a beautiful fucking venue. We got Metalachi playing with me. They're a band that plays rock covers in mariachi music. It's fucking awesome. I haven't announced it, but Mark Norman's going to be open for me, I think. And so I should wait, but whatever. So get your tickets now. I think we got some other great comics coming out on the lineup. These big shows, I like to have bring my friends out from New York and have some fun, like we did in Red Rocks with me and Mark and Dave, and it was a fucking blast. So it's going to be a great show. May 5th, the Greek, Cinco de Mayo. Come spend Cinco de Mayo with me. We're trying to put together a disc golf tournament. At the Greek the day of. So it would be like, instead of doing a meet and greet, by the way, meet and greets are coming back because we're doing them out of the buses anyway. Today's podcast is with Trevor Wallace. Trevor Wallace is a fucking gangster on Instagram. He has made me laugh so many times. He popped on my radar probably 100 times before I was like, motherfucker, man, this guy kills it every time. The first one he did was with an energy drink that was so goddamn funny. He has a line. We talk about this in the podcast, and it's what made me laugh were the lines. He was talking about what do you have for breakfast? Energy drink. What do you have for lunch? Energy. We'll talk about that on the podcast. We talk about his process for making these videos. He just did these Subaru videos that I thought were sponsored by Subaru. They're not. It was just him in Denver borrowing someone's Subaru and shooting a bunch of content. He is an awesome stand-up comedian, and that's why I like his videos. His videos ring of stand-up comic sensibility. The way he makes you laugh in those videos aren't the way sometimes you see, I don't mean this disrespectfully, but like internet guys making you laugh. Sometimes internet guys make you laugh in a very cheap way. The way Trevor makes you laugh is I say it in like a Colin Quinn way, because it's the thing that you didn't expect, but you didn't expect it, and it made you think about it, and the thinking about it made you laugh even harder. That makes sense. And he's on tour. He is a stand-up comedian, and he's a legit stand-up comedian. He is fucking amazing, and he's doing a huge theater tour. Right now, he is in Seattle, Washington right now. He's in New York on the 24th, Boston, Massachusetts on the 25th, Durham, North Carolina, where I am right now, on April 1st, Atlanta, Buffalo, Toronto, Huntington, Philadelphia, Baltimore, San Diego, and then he will be partying balls. He had said that on the podcast. We talked about drinking a little bit on the podcast. He's like, no, I drink if I want to get drunk, but I don't want to get drunk often. I was like, May 20th, he will be in Los Angeles, and I think he's throwing a huge party. Go to trevorwallacecomedy.com to get your tickets. I hope you enjoy this podcast. Ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, my buddy, stand-up comedian, the biggest gangster on fucking Instagram, Trevor Wallace.
Yeah, we're good. We're in. Checked up.
Fucking bloated. I can't get my wedding ring on.
That's the coolest thing I've ever heard in my life. Please include that.
It's interesting because I used to have a joke about wedding rings. When you start losing weight, they get loose. Like God's going, take it off, man. What the fuck?
You're losing weight. You're hot now.
Yeah, come on. You deserve to take it off. It's kind of falling off, man.
Right.
And then when you're fat, you're like, this isn't going anywhere.
Smart.
You are trapped.
Smart, dude.
I've been so bloated before. Have you ever seen the videos of how people get rings off?
It's called like the fire department.
No. What you do is you take a string, but like
Vaseline.
No. That wouldn't even get it off. I
What are the
couldn't get
ones
it
where
off.
you put your both fingers in it and you pull and they get tighter?
Chinese finger cuffs.
Yeah, those.
Those used to give me panic.
Really?
As a
Those
kid.
still
Fuck yeah.
do give me
That was
a
like
little
the
bit of those.
original thing you got as a kid. I'm old as
That
fuck.
was like middle school hazing.
Look, so you take string and you wrap it around the outside of the ring, right?
Yeah.
And then you slide it under, and as you pull, it starts to slide the ring over the string. and the string.
Oh,
Here, watch. Just fast forward. So
everybody watching this is in a divorce, I take it, or about to be.
Look, so you slide it under,
Yeah.
right? I had to do this in fucking Africa.
What do you take? Oh, just because it's ball and ass ring.
Yeah, no, I was in
Oh wow.
with the Zulu tribe,
Uh-huh.
and I had eaten. They'd make these steaks, and they were dipping it in salt, and it was so good. And I was so bloated, I couldn't get my ring off, and it started giving me a panic attack. So I had to Google how to get a ring off. So this is how you do it: you wrap the string around your finger, and then you start doing that, and then it just starts going over
All this
the
is
rope.
too much. I'm just gonna get a tattooed wedding ring. This is too much right here.
No, this has been a long time coming, and let me tell you something. I'm so sorry, because the same thing that's happened with me and you has happened with me and Kevin Hart. And there's a certain time where someone
Big
goes,
flex,
"Is he blowing you off?" And you're like,
Yeah.
"I don't think so. I never thought of it that way."
Yeah. I feel like, if you get 2 reschedules, I mean, you're massive in this world. And anybody else, I'd be, hey, if you want me, you got me.
These pants I'm wearing, I was supposed to do Kevin Hart today. I was supposed
On
to
here?
No, on do his show.
Oh, nice.
And so I had bought his pants. He has tracksuits that he
Dude,
sells.
I get his Instagram ads all the time.
Yeah, I saw it.
Did you get them from an ad, or you just?
I got it from the ad.
Really?
I got it from the ad.
But your acquaintances with him?
But yeah. But I was like, let's see, because as comics, people start growing out and like doing other things and having clothing lines,
tequila brands.
Like I have flip flops. I think I'm not gonna say anything Rogan has, because I know what he has coming up, and I don't know which ones are out yet. But like I have flip flops. I have others. Oh, I have tracksuits.
Don't you have slippers?
I have slippers.
Yeah, I saw that. I know your merch more than you, dude. That's crazy.
So you want to know if they're any good, and so I bought these. I was going to wear his full tracksuit to the interview, and see if he even noticed. And they're really fucking comfortable. And
well, dude, you have to wear them for me, even better.
I got 4 pairs of bottoms, 2 pairs of tops for $75. It was such a fucking deal.
Yeah, that's crazy.
What does Logan Paul have that he could sell?
Does
he sell something?
He has merch. It's called Maverick. It's
he just has like sweatshirts that have his
name
on it.
He's got that. He's got NFTs. He's like selling Pokemon cards. He's just like a rich person's garage sale at this point. He's just really selling everything.
Do you like? Oh, okay. It's not bad. It's like
athletic wear. It's kind of like streetwear meets athletic wear. He's got gloves, which that.
Yeah, it's not bad. It's not bad. I like it. I like. I didn't know the owl was someone.
Owl.
Like OVO.
OVO does Drake.
Yeah, I didn't know that was him. I didn't know that was him. I was like
Drake.
And I was like, shut the fuck up.
Yeah, dude.
You are everywhere right now.
Really?
Every time you did this fucking run for, was it Subaru?
Yeah. Oh, that was in an ad. I just did that for shits and gigs. Just
everything you do is so beautifully branded to fucking. But it's if ad companies had a good sense of humor.
Yeah. And sometimes they'll reach out and be like, "Hey, do that again," but like you can't say the word "fuck," and I'm like, "Well, I don't want to do it."
Yeah, I've done some stuff with brands.
Yeah, but
it has to be totally. I can do whatever I want because I can't. Right. I just can't.
I just had something like that. They're like, "Do exactly what you do," and then I sent it to them, and then they're like, "Ugh, compliance isn't gonna like this." I was like, "Well, I did what I do. So here's, do you guys want the ad or not?"
Was that?
And they didn't want it.
That? Do you think? Say you were born in 1965, 1945. Do you think you would have been an ad sales guy?
Wow. I don't know what I would have done.
Because you're funny at always. Whenever every video you do, you're really talented at. I mean, not even I can't oversell this enough.
Thanks, man.
You're so good at almost like a fly on the wall. I want to talk to you how you create, because I'm curious how you create. Because I've had good videos before, and I've found that just turning the camera on and starting is the hardest part.
Right.
But I want to talk about how you create. But you're so good at like the things you don't say. Sometimes you've said things and then you don't finish your sentence, but it's a Patrice O'Neal thing.
Oh, really?
Patrice used to do that. He used
to let the audience kind of fill it in.
He would say, he'd be like, because when you hit a bitch and or whatever it is, that's a bad analogy. Patrice,
I thought it was,
but he'd let you finish the sentence in your head.
Right.
Like one of the things you said is, they say the writ when you're talking about tattoos. You're like, they say the writ, and you didn't even finish the sentence. they say the wrist, and everyone knows what that character is going to say then next.
Yeah.
You say the wrist is the most sensitive part.
Yeah, I just try to like put all types of like, what would this? I took improv classes early on. I don't really like them, but I do think that they taught me like a lot about like, if you're going to build out who this person is like everything. Let's say you're making a character based on that Subaru guy. You're like, what does he eat for breakfast? What does he listen to? What's his drink? You know, what's he getting at Kmart in the DVD bins?
Yeah.
That just like defines a person so much, where like the joke is just something super specific. If you're like, oh, this dude eats beef jerky for breakfast, that like sets in your head, you're like, oh, I know this guy. Instead of being like, this guy's a redneck, like that does nothing.
So when you do a character like the bang guy,
yeah.
Do you really put thought process into that character before you even go out there?
Yeah, I'll like put on the outfit and like look in the mirror and be like, does this look believable? Because I don't want to be like too extra, you know. I try to find that like perfect level where it's like you could see this person in the wild.
Well, because you did the one where you were at that. You were in the Supreme outfit with the chains and drip.
Yeah.
And you were you were taking pictures with people, and I thought he is so in character that I was like, this is really brilliant, because you're not in there you're making fun of them, but you're so enmeshed in them, they don't even know it.
Exactly. That's the beauty of it. And like people be like, dude, I have a fucking Subaru. And you're like, yeah, I was making fun of you. But like, I have to get in their culture before I make fun of them. Like I was looking up Subaru stuff. My buddy had one, so I drove it around just to feel it out. And then like I posted on my Instagram. I was doing Comedy Works up in Denver, and I was like, does anybody have a Subaru I can borrow for the weekend? Of course, 47,000 people. Yeah. So I'm like scrolling through them, swiping left and right on Subarus, and I find the one I like, and he's like, you can put stickers on it. You can do whatever the fuck you want. So I'm online looking up like IPA stickers, fishing, and all this. I'm just painting in my head, you know? And then sure enough, this random dude's like, yeah, just like it was a prom date. He's like, have her back by 6. And I was just like, all right, full control. Just let me take his car around Denver. And it was awesome because we just got to drive it, feel it out, and everything about that car just helped, you know, feel it out, you know?
So then I'm really fascinated because you have a track record for hitting home runs a lot, but always getting base hits. So like okay, I mean, everything you do works, and then every now and then you just send some of them out of the fucking park.
Yeah.
So I want to talk about the bang guy.
Yeah.
And I want to talk about your life and everything else, but like I'm so fascinated by how you create. Do you like the bang guy?
I think it's hilarious.
No. The guy you played.
Oh,
do you
God,
like
no.
that guy?
God, no.
Okay, so when you start as that guy, Halston, for frame of reference, is it okay if we play a little bit of it?
Yeah.
Can you find that? There's 2 parts that have me fucking.
Just having like bang Trevor Wallace. If you're trying to bang me.
If there's.
Nothing like a nice drive to the gym. When I drink Bang Energy, I feel like I can see other people's words.
Because you're reading a book.
Oh. Best way to drink Bang is with a spoon and a lighter. Bang Energy is all about being manly, like sipping cotton candy. I work out at a park because I got banned from 24-hour fitness, grunting too much.
And that's in Beverly Hills right there, just yelling at people.
Why the fuck are you yelling? Drive like your kids live here. Fuck your kids! Sleep? What the fuck flavor is that? Time for a key bump. Fuck! I'm on Bang, he's on Bang, they're on Bang, my cameraman's on Bang. Fuck!
that one makes people like
COQ
talking about that if the show's not that long.
This is my other.
Why do I drink Bang? Because my coke dealer's in jail for life. Todd,
my other
where the
favorite
fuck
line.
are my rainbow tights? Guess what I had for breakfast? Bang. Guess what I had for lunch? Bang. Guess what I had for dinner? A felony.
All right, hit pause. So,
It's like the
so this guy,
FCA, but with
the cameraman, and then guess what I have for breakfast? Guess what I have for lunch?
Yeah.
Guess what? So do you see this guy? I hate to like Inside Actor Studios this, but
No.
but it made me giggle so hard.
Mm-hmm.
So do you see? How did this start? Did you see a guy and go like, Jesus, what the fuck?
So I don't know if you've seen the Bang Energy CEO.
I have.
Terrifying, right?
He's fucking.
Just looks like he was in the mob, ate the mob, and then stabbed the mob. He's a great guy.
Yeah.
But I start all these like influencers post about Bang, and in the description you have to tag the guy. That's like a part of the deal. So if you're doing a deal for Liquid Death, they'd be like, hey, use promo code Bert. Also follow the CEO. Like he is mandatory. So that alone, yeah, look at him. I mean, the guy's
He's a fascinating dude.
Yeah. So once exactly, yeah. Now that guy in 1965 would be doing ads. Okay, he would be kicking your door in. But I think I just saw so many people start posting about it. And also they have 300 milligrams of caffeine. A cup of coffee is 150. So it's just an insane level. And then the type of people that I would see drinking them, that's kind of where I created this. Usually I like come up with a video idea. Once people around me start like really talking about it or drinking it or seeing it, it's kind of just being observant, I think, which is kind of just that comedy mindset. But that video I made at like 7 a.m. in the morning because my friend had a flight. The guy filming it, the camera guy, had a flight to catch later that day. And I drank like 3 bangs. And, I don't know if I've ever been so lightheaded in my life, but.
Oh, dude, there's a drink called, I think it's called NO5, nitrous. It's the nitrous logo.
Mm-hmm.
I had one of those once and I was humming.
Yeah.
I mean, like I couldn't get my dick hard at night. Like that was that intense.
Might have been cocaine. Yeah.
So how many locations do you find? So you get your
was-
cameraman. I want to know, like, you get your cameraman and you
Yeah.
say, hey, I got an idea. I want to shoot this thing for Bang.
Yeah.
And then he's like, yeah.
It's mainly just, so I used to live in mid-city, just very center of Los Angeles. And essentially all it was, I was like, dude, I want to make a video talking shit about people who drink Bang Energy. And he's like, yeah, let's do it. I bought 3. We met up that morning. And then it was kind of like, let's do some at the apartment. Let's drive around. Oh, let's do like an outside gym because this is during COVID. So you can't work out anywhere. So I was like, perfect. There's an outside gym. I think that was in like the Beverly Hills area.
Yeah.
So we went there and then we drove around. That might have been like 3 locations, just apartment, outside gym, and then like just anywhere around that park.
So I think what separates you from most video creators, it's weird. I don't consider you a content creator or an Instagram guy or I just consider you a comedian.
Thanks.
Because
that's like a big compliment because most people are like TikToker, internet influencer.
Yeah, well, it's so interesting because I know you're stand-up.
Yeah.
Also, so but what separates you from most people is that most people go, I want to do a thing making fun of people that drink Bang, and they don't really put the thought into the jokes. And when I hear Bang for breakfast, Bang for lunch, a felony,
yeah,
I mean that's a fucking joke. That's
oh yeah,
it's in 3.
I'll put it on t-shirts.
Yeah, it's fucking, dude, it's fucking brilliant. And when my cameraman's on Bang and he flips it up,
yeah,
it's so hard. Now I don't hope I can translate this enough, but it's so hard to take an idea and put it on film and make it funny on film. It's so difficult.
Yeah, and that's what I think differentiates. Anytime I get an idea and in my head it goes, okay, so this video is just a stand-up idea, but like that idea right there, you can get a few bits out of it on stage, but it's such a visual. You got to see the guy, you got to feel what he's doing, you got to feel the energy. So oftentimes the more observant shit goes to videos because you can orchestrate it so much better and you can show it on camera and you have more. Like Chappelle's show was great because he got to tee up the video right beforehand. Be like, when this happens, into the sketch.
Yeah.
So it's a little bit of both. So now I'm just like trying to find like the most condensed like log line, like real quick, guys who drink Bang, you're in. You're like, okay, this guy gonna be a piece of shit, probably yelling. Let's watch. So for stand-up, it's more like personal life experience and stuff because it's it's visual in my head, but everybody can kind of paint the picture of the family and this and that and jobs and shit like that. But video, like something like that, is like that's got to be a video.
So did you go in with a script at all or a line?
It's like half and half. I'll write some lines, but like I'm on Bang, he's on Bang, my camera guy's on Bang. You can't write that. Yeah. And if it would just look ridiculous.
It's why it's good.
It's in the field. Yeah.
Yeah. It's why it's good is that sometimes those moments where you feel like you're watching people create.
Yeah.
They make you inspired. I mean, I fucking. It's hard to get a video that's funny that isn't someone just falling off of something or
I know. Yeah, a viral video of somebody like eating shit on a bird scooter. You're like, you want me to be better than this?
Yeah, it's so hard.
Yeah, so it's really just that you're like in the moment, you're creating. It's kind of like crowd work where somebody yells something out and then you get back to them real quick. You're like, I don't even know what in my body prompted that response, but we did it. And because you're just so in the field. So when we're halfway into filming this, you're this guy, you believe it, you're very locked in, you're not checking your phone for like all that. That's like when the best ideas come out. I do a few lines at first, lines of like words, and then I'll like from there I'll know like, okay, this is the direction we should be going. And then I'll spew out some shit. Some makes it, some doesn't. But the scripted stuff is just so I can show up with something. And I'm
With
not just
something.
I'm not just starting from scratch being like, ugh.
It's so good too because so many comics don't do that. So many comedians don't go out and shoot funny shit.
Right.
So many of us, I mean, just sit and do podcasts. And quite honestly, so many of us don't even do good podcasts.
You know, I've done enough podcasts in the back of like
your
a van or
podcast
something.
character is fucking hilarious.
Yeah.
This is, I mean, I've watched a lot of your content.
Oh, right
and
on.
so,
Thanks.
but it's so funny. I didn't know it was you for like half of it.
Oh, really?
I just was like, oh, I fucking love this kid.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden I put 2 and 2 together. I'm like, I was like, motherfucker.
Yeah, dude.
And so it's like your podcast guy who's literally, it's a character for those who don't know. And I don't want to play it because we got to speed that connection up, Alston. But
Gotta get a hot
he's
spot.
breaking down his favorite podcast. You got to listen to this podcast.
Yeah.
It's done by infants, but you can't really understand what they're saying, which makes it really great.
Yeah, all these people are just like people in my life who's been like, that was like kind of based on my sister. She's like, oh, I listened to his murder podcast, but you probably never heard of it. It's like, is this the new hipster now? Is this it's this podcast where like two birds talk and then you kind of digest it. And so it's just like anything that like has been a video is like at some point crossed a frame of like my life or something. Where
Have you ever had that come back where someone watched the video and they hit you up and go, hey, is this me?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. The biggest one that I did was based off a guy that I went to high school with. It was about guys who never left their hometown, right? Just like, just like the hometown hero. And he played like Division III football after high school, played for like a Christian school. He found out about it and he actually DM'd me and he's like, great stuff, dude. By the way, if you ever need a 4-year-old baby, you can use my son in a video. And I was like, that's elite right there.
That's fucking great because your frat boy stuff is fucking dialed in.
Yeah.
So funny. As I watched that, I went, I think that was me.
Oh yeah, I was
think
that guy.
yeah.
That time that video was just me. You know.
Yeah.
I was in a frat. I was that guy. I was just like, teeing it up to a 10, I think, in the videos.
It was so great because I'm watching it and I'm going, oh yeah, this is definitely like, you said, I need a drink to fall asleep. I was like, I'm still that guy.
He's still that guy,
motherfucker.
Yeah. The biggest, I guess, goal for me in a video, besides funny, is like, can somebody tag their friend in this and be like, dude, this is Bert. This is Bert back in the early days, Because that's how videos get traction. If it's just a funny video, nobody's tagging. Might be a few tags that are like, oh, check this out. This is funny. But like the biggest videos are the ones that people can relate to and be like, this is so-and-so when they get a bang before work, like that's how you really snowball something is when it's relatable type shit,
That's so brilliant. So you grew up in San Jose, right?
I actually grew up out in Southern California.
Oh, I'm sorry, Camarillo.
Yep.
You went to school in San Jose.
San Jose State, went up there.
Where's Camarillo again?
Camarillo is like an hour outside of Los Angeles, in between LA and Santa Barbara. It's like, it goes like Agora, Calabasas, Westlake, Thousand Oaks, Camarillo.
Oh, I know where Camarillo is.
Yeah, there's an outlet mall there.
Yeah, I know.
Have you ever done Oxnard Levity Live?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like 10 minutes from there.
Okay. And so you grew up there.
Grew up there.
Like an arts kid?
No, not really.
Really?
Smoked weed in 8th grade. Just not a great kid.
Really?
Yeah, no. And then as I was 17 when I first did stand-up. Have you ever done Ventura Harbor Comedy Club? That's it's like I don't know if it's still there.
I know of it though.
Yeah, but I did a stand-up class there when I was 17, and that was like the first time I was like, oh shit, this is a thing. I like this.
Oh yeah.
Felt it, and then went to college.
What was your favorite part when you fell in love with it? What was your favorite part?
The first, I was so nervous, and that first pop, that first laugh I ever got was like this, like all the nerves were calm and it felt right. And I was never athletic growing up, so I never really had like a cool game-winning touchdown or like fucking grand slam. I never had that.
Yeah.
I never had my dad pat me on the back and be like, fucking good job today, son. So when I got a good like laugh, I was like, whoa, this feels right. And I it was a 5-minute set, but I like blacked out. I felt like 13 seconds. And then afterwards I was like, well, this could be something I could do. And then I went off to college the following year. And then in college, I was just the frat guy for 2 years, just drank a lot.
Yeah.
Didn't really do anything. And that's when Vine came out.
I loved Vine.
Yeah, Vine was a great jump because it was just like a
6 seconds, was it?
Yeah, 6 seconds.
And the fucking Vine like the Vine compilations today, even
They still hold up.
are some of the funniest fucking things I've ever seen.
Dude, if you can get a joke off in 6 seconds, that's just it's people's attention spans are like this. And it was just great because it was like almost like a trial size of somebody. A lot of comedians got really big off that because they're like, here's me in 6 seconds. You want to see me in real life?
D'Elia.
See me on stage. Yeah.
D'Elia was huge.
He was
on
somebody I
Vine.
watched when I was in college. He was really big on that. And it's just like, it was so great because it could be funny in 6 seconds. And then you're like, oh shit, this guy's in my town. Let's go see him. And it's like, you're not burning material with 6 seconds, I'd hope, you know?
D'Elia's one was so cute.
Yeah.
He had that thing, and my daughters did that back to me one day. They did it. They quoted D'Elia. They were babies. They were. I mean, I used to. I loved. I wonder what my best Vine was. Type in my Bert Kreischer Vine. I loved Vine, and I was pretty active on it. And one of my good friends blew up on Vine.
It's great because you can just shit post. You just throw anything out there.
Oh, so.
And it was also before like people were like really editing a bunch of materials. Just
Is this my Vine? I thought Vine was dead.
you can still look at it on. I literally think like the computer, but
Oh, okay. Scroll. I'll show you a good one. Scroll down. It's Isla and me. God damn it. That's me scaring the shit out of Isla.
and at this. So when is this? 2014.
This was.
So what are you doing at this point?
That's me. Hang on. That's me in Albuquerque, New Mexico on a meth bust.
You had a lot of meth on
Yeah.
you?
No. We found meth.
Nice.
We busted people with meth.
What'd you guys do with it?
I wanted to try it. So wait. So you don't. I'm not good at. I get so distracted when the fucking TV's on. This was all when I was on Travel Channel.
So what's your life like in 2013? You're touring a lot. You're on.
I'm
Travel
touring.
Channel.
I'm on Travel Channel. I'm in the thick of understanding who I am as a comic. Because right now, I have become friends with Rogan. I was flying to San Diego from San Francisco in that plane. I just hung out the band Train. That's in Alaska. This is fucking. Oh, there's Priscilla. Look at George's little baby. This is like a fucking flashback.
Yeah, this is still online.
Oh my God. So this is. I had not discovered who I was as a comic yet, and 2013 I hadn't done my Showtime special yet, and so I just told the machine on Rogan. I think that was like right around that time. I just told the machine on Rogan. I hadn't started a podcast yet, I don't think. And
were you past at like the store, or were you kind of just doing road gigs? Or are you moving?
I was on the road. I was never home.
Okay.
I did Travel Channel every 2 weeks. So on the third week, I'd go on the road, and then I'd go on Travel Channel for 2 weeks, and then the third week I'd go on the road.
Damn.
And I was gone. I was in a deal at Travel Channel, and I was gone every week. And right around this time is when Burr and Rogan, a little bit after this, is when Burr and Rogan sat me down. They're like, "Your show sucks. You need to stop doing this shit."
And then you did.
And they're like, "You need to focus on stand up." And then I focused on stand up, and but I didn't. I was finding my voice. I look at this, and this is when I found out that my family was funny. That I could everything they did. I mean, if you go through these Vines, it is fucking Isla cracking us up.
Yeah.
The weirdest shit. This kid would say the weirdest fucking shit, and her brain was just wired differently. That's where I was in my life. 2013. What's today? What's 2020?
This is 9 years ago.
I was just about to turn 40. No, 40. I just turned 40. So yeah. Oh wow. Where were you in this?
So I was a sophomore in college. I was 19, 20. And I was making these, and then I was doing open mics after class and just like kind of doing both. And I'd be like, if an idea just came to me, I'd just do it real quick, spitball it, throw it out there.
Pull up. What was your favorite Vine you ever did?
The favorite, I had a few like favorites, but I think there was one that got big, and it was just such a generic one. I had one that got big my junior year, and I got recognized on the way to class one day, and I was like, oh, this is big.
Really?
This is big.
So what was that? That's something we can share on. What was it like getting because your Vines blew up, and then you're still in college, and you're almost like famous. Because you know who else had that in is a guy I know very well that I think you know, Jimmy Tatro.
I do know Jimmy.
Yeah, Jimmy.
Yeah.
Jimmy.
He's somebody honestly I looked up to a lot. his videos were really big when I was probably a freshman or sophomore in college. And he was the guy on YouTube. He was like the dude making the sketches. He was the frat guy. So me as a young frat guy, I watched him be like, dude, this guy's got it all. This guy's got it made. When I get out of, I literally said it like I was in prison. I'm like, when I get out of college, I'm going to make videos. I'm going to figure it out. And then 2015, I just moved down to LA and I just, I made, you know what? No. But yeah, so what it was is the best part about it is like, there wasn't any fame at all to it. One video by chance did well because a friend of a friend shared it who had a big following.
Yeah.
But what it was cool. It showed me that the snowball effect, things can happen. So I was like, okay, if a good idea gets traction and it's funny, it can roll. And then you got some views. And it did like 13 million. It's not even views, like loops at the time. And I was just refreshing it. And I was like, dude, this is nuts.
It's that it's interesting because once you have that one thing where you go, Angela Johnson's, was just here.
Oh, the nail salon?
Yeah. And she said for her, the thing was becoming a Raiderette. And then she was like, well, wait, if that's possible, I might be able to be an actress or a comedian or whatever she wanted to be. But it's that one inkling of going like, I haven't, this could be real. For me, it was the Rolling Stone article when that came out.
There we go. Yeah. Rolling Stone article.
Oh yeah, no. Let me see this.
That took effort to find.
So, I mean, this is like definitely the tail end of it. We're pulling in 37 likes, but there was a few, if you scroll down there, that I can show you. There was, okay, go up real quick. So the one in the middle with the Hooters girl, that one was like kind of funny.
Yeah. This one has 15 million.
Yeah, that one did well.
What the fuck you looking at?
So I went to Panda Express, got a fortune cookie right there, went to a park and gave a homeless guy $20. I was like, will you say what the fuck you looking at for $20? And he was like, yeah, sure.
What does that say? Visit a park.
It says visit a park, enjoy what nature has to offer. And then I just went to a park in San Jose, right by the San Jose Improv.
That's so great.
Found a guy and I was like, I just had this inclination. I was like, this is funny,
That's
like, if I give you
great.
money. Yeah. And then the next one was just me just trying to order chicken breast. And then you go,
Yeah, can I get the chicken tit? Yeah, can I get the chicken tits? I mean breast. I mean, sorry, you have really nice boobs.
And then there was one, if you scroll a little down, it's the one that did really well. I mean, God, I'm just such a fucking tool, if you can tell. This is me, probably I'm on test boosters for sure. Okay, so the left one with the tank top, I was on test boosters for a solid semester. Dude, I was in a frat, I was an idiot. I was like, I took test boosters, my roommate was doing D-ball. Things were going off in the frat in San Jose.
Yeah, wait, your tits are huge in one of these.
So I have my traps flared up like a fucking douchebag, the Muscle Farm protein in the back. Like, I was this frat guy. So when I'm making fun of this guy, this is the one that was on me.
But it's who you are.
Oh yeah.
So great.
Deep down, dude, deep down, this is me. So the one with the tank top, it had like
315.
it had some crazy, so it had like 100K likes, but it's just literally, I made it with my frat friends. The premise is just like when how man interpret a text from a girl, and the amount of letters a girl puts after, if she's like hey versus like hey, that's it. And it's 6 seconds. I gathered some frat guys. I was like, you guys want to be in a video real quick? And then a friend of a friend shared it who was down at San Diego State. It's another frat dude. And then that like hit. And I was like, it's happening. God. And ever since that moment, I was like, it was like that first pop on stage. You're always chasing that nostalgia. You're always chasing that like first time you ever got high. Like, so you're just kind of like trying to feel that like momentum again. And ever since then, you're like, I want that moment.
It's I definitely, I've had a few videos that have done well. Nothing that, I mean, I've had some viral videos, but I've had a few videos that do well. And there's nothing like scrolling and seeing the number explode.
It's like mind numbing. It's weird. It's just like, it's not a great thing to just be sitting there refreshing, but it is kind of neat because it's endless.
My algorithm on Instagram is the first 10 minutes. Whatever that number is in the first 10 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
And an average video will get 1,000 views per minute.
Okay.
for me. Like if I post a video, it's 1,000 views per minute, up to an hour, and then but if that first 10 minutes, if you can get to like a huge number, all of a sudden you're like, oh, this is gonna get some
I
traction.
remember the very simple days on Instagram where your first like 10 likes were people's names, and then you got that 11th like, and then it went to a number. Do you remember that? Any of you guys?
No,
But like, so it wouldn't. I mean, you probably had.
I was
followers
late. No,
by
I was
then.
late on Instagram.
Oh,
Do you know who
really?
introduced me to Instagram? I was with the lead singer of Smash Mouth,
Yeah,
and we were at a hotel.
and he's like, "You got to get on
and there
this
was a
shit."
fire in the middle of the night. There was a fire alarm went off, and we had to stand outside, and he was out there, and I recognized him, and we went back in, and I said, "Let me buy you a drink." And this kid was at a wedding, and he recognized both of us. He's like, "Let me show you about Instagram." It's my first, that kid was at a wedding.
Yeah,
That was my first Instagram post, and they're like, "Let me turn you on to Instagram." And they got me an account,
yeah.
and we were all together, and that was my first introduction to Instagram. And I was like, and I had these things. I was wondering if you feel this way, because I have had these things that go viral, but the second someone's like, "Hey, can you do more of that?" I kind of lose interest.
Yeah.
And like I used to do these things called "What Will the Maid Think?" Have you ever seen those?
I have not.
Pull it up. I used to leave hotel rooms in interesting manners, and so they would go viral.
Yeah.
And so like any ones of the ones you've ever seen on Instagram, I made all of them.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I made all of them, and then
That's
I got
awesome.
offered those are all mine, and so I'd leave the room like that.
Oh, like stuff like, and you never did like hidden cameras or anything?
No, I never even thought about it.
But you just like deep down. But that's funny because it's just like deep down, some reaction will happen.
Oh, I did. I ended up doing a series for a web series where we did the hidden camera, but it was never really interesting.
Yeah.
But what's fascinating is the second I got offered a book deal,
That was terrifying.
that was the first one I did.
Terrifying.
That was the very first one I did.
I would quit
And
Ed La Quinta Inn immediately.
That was the very first one I did. My favorite one is the one in Edmonton, right there, fourth on the top. That one is I just tied. That was my favorite
Simple.
one. I was across the street from the West Edmonton Mall.
Oh, I've done that club.
Yeah, it's Rick Bronson's club.
Yes, it's in a mall, and the
Yeah.
mall is in Canada, but they have a Hooters and a gun range in that mall.
And
They're more American than we are.
I think it's like the second biggest mall in the world, if not the
It is.
biggest mall in the world.
It's like that in the Minneapolis one.
Minneapolis one's ridiculous. I mean,
Yeah.
I go there to work out. I just do laps.
Oh yeah.
But God damn it, I'm all over the fucking map. But that once you get something it's almost like when no one sees it, it's more fun for me.
Right.
And then once it's seen and people are like, "Hey, can you do more of these?" It's almost like I get writer's block where I go,
Well, the pressure's on, and you're like, I got to follow up the other one. And for example, people be like, when are you going to make another Bang video? But I'm like,
Yeah.
that one, like it's in the bookshelf. Like the painting's done. I don't
Yeah.
want to make like another one to like, because then you can do offshoots and sometimes the second video will hit harder or not. But like, that's just one of those videos where I just want to leave it like it's done. That episode is locked away.
This podcast is brought to you by Liquid IV. I love Liquid IV. It's the first thing we do when we get up in the bus is we make a Liquid IV. You can put it in 16 ounces of water, which is so easy because those are the water bottles you have. You don't have to worry about drinking a few sips. You just take one little sip so you have some room for the Liquid IV, and it's great. And it makes a workout that day so fucking easy. It contains 5 essential vitamins, B3, B5, B6, B12, and vitamin C. And it has 3 times the electrolytes as a traditional sports drink, made with premium ingredients, non-GMO, gluten-free, dairy-free, soy-free. By the way, dairy's been fucking me up lately, so it's so nice to know that. It's designed to enhance rapid absorption of the water and the other key ingredients into the bloodstream. 1 stick of Liquid IV and 16 ounces of water hydrates faster and more efficiently than water alone. And they've donated over 19 million servings globally. Grab Liquid IV in bulk nationwide at Costco, or you get 25% off when you go to liquidiv.com and use the code BERT at checkout. That's 25% off anything you order when you use the promo code BERT at liquidiv.com. Experience better hydration today at liquidiv.com and use the promo code BERT. This podcast is sponsored by BetterHelp Online Therapy. Relationships take work. A lot of us will drop anything in the world to go help someone we care about. We'll go out of our ways to treat other people better than we treat ourselves sometimes. How come we don't give ourselves the same treatment? I've been investing in myself. I've been trying to keep a diary. I go to therapy. I've been going on online therapy for a while now. Leanne put me into it, and I'm so glad I did it. This month, BetterHelp Online Therapy wants to remind you that taking care of you is the most important relationship you have. The one you have with yourself is the most important one you have. You should take care of yourself the same way you take care of other people. Whether it's hitting the gym, making time for a haircut, or even trying therapy, you are your greatest asset. So invest the time and effort into yourself like you do for other people. I love therapy, and it makes me feel like I am taking care of myself. And then every now and then I slow down. I take account of my gratitudes. I then write in my happiness journal, and I find the things that I like and love about myself, and then I talk to my therapist about them. BetterHelp Online Therapy offers video, phone, and even live chat sessions with your therapist, so you don't have to see anyone on camera if you don't want to. I do not want to. I love getting on a treadmill and just doing it over the phone. It's more affordable than in-person therapy, and you can be matched with a therapist under 48 hours, and you don't have to sit in traffic. You can just go sit in your living room, pop it on, give it a try. See why over 2 million people have used BetterHelp Online Therapy. This podcast is sponsored by BetterHelp, and Bertcast listeners get 10% off their first month at betterhelp.com/Bert. That's BetterHelp.com/Bert.
The first video that blew up for me was like 2017, 2018. I was making fun of this skate shop called Zoomies. They're in like every mall in America.
I know, yeah.
But that one, I did at different events. I did the guy that I did was like life as a Zoomies employee, and I just acted like an employee. And then I went into a store and pretended to be an employee, and then that hit. Then I did another one where I went into a rival store. I went into a PacSun, where they have like beef with each other.
Yeah.
And then I was like, what if I took this character to a music festival and then a thing? And then I had this like weird moment. I was like, I got to pick a choice right now. It's like, do I want this to be that's who I am? Like, this is your bubble. You're trapped in it. Or do you want to try other shit? In other videos I was trying and they weren't hitting. And I would do like 4 or 5 videos that wouldn't hit. And then I'm like, all right, fuck it. Back to the Zoomies.
Yeah.
So I always knew I could fall back on it. But I just like eventually, and then I had another hit. And then I was like, all right, we're good. That's all I wanted was like one more hit outside of that Zoomies bubble. Then I can be like, cool, now I'm this guy now. I was making fun of people with like AirPods and shit. That was like the big trend for me. And then I was like, cool, we made it out of the bubble, but I still have the Zoomies stuff. So it's like, it's almost cool because like, in the sense of like, you probably have this too, people will give you a timestamp of when they started becoming a fan of you based on certain things. So if somebody's like, oh, I started watching you in the Zoomies day, I'm like, oh, you've been watching since 2017. Or through like the AirPods, I'm like 2018, So it's really cool. I just wanted to not be trapped in a thing. So I've just been doing kind of trying everything. And now it's just like, oh, I'm all over the place trying to figure shit out. Just
my thing is I really fucked up because I didn't have momentum in comedy at a time.
Mm-hmm.
And so I had to build my own momentum. And so I took over my own marketing and started creating videos to promote tours.
Dude, those are great.
And they were great. But then all of a sudden everyone's like I'll give you a perfect fucking example. And I hope my agents don't hear this, but they set me up to do Red Rocks, and I was supposed to do Red Rocks.
That's like what, 15,000?
10,000, which is still a lot.
Oh yeah.
And I was supposed to do it with Jim Jeffries, which was a fucking slam dunk. We were both sell 5,000 tickets. Yeah. And so, but when you do 10,000 tickets by yourself, that's real arena numbers. And so they were like, and I kind of love the challenge. I love saying, hey, we're going to go into this market. It's a little bigger than you can sell. Cleveland, for when I did Hey Big Boy, I was like, I want to add 2 shows. And they're like, it's going to make it to 9,000 tickets. And I was like, I don't mind the challenge. Like, I like the challenge. But now everyone knows I like the challenge. So now they're like, fuck it. Let's put them in arenas. Like, so Red Rocks was the first one.
Uh-huh.
And I was like, I was just like, I brought this upon myself. I mean, thank God I needed surgery, because that surgery video did fucking cleaned up Red Rocks.
Really?
I went into surgery and I told the anesthesiologist, when you put me under, I'm not gonna count backwards. I'm gonna be promoting my Red Rocks date.
Hilarious.
And when I do, put me under. And he was like, all right. And so I started recording with my left arm.
Do you have that video?
Yeah.
I would love to see.
Yeah.
Because I saw the one where you the very first one you were dancing.
I have a great team around me. But what I want to tell you for real, while I lay here on this gurney and panic, is Red Rocks, September 8th. I will be performing at Red Rocks. Get your tickets at BertBertBert.com. Jimmy Buffett's there the night before and the night after. I can't wait to do Red Rocks. I have invited my anesthesiologist who's going to be attending.
Great.
That's when I go out.
Oh, that's when you.
My arm. Well, I had a nerve block in. I didn't realize it, and so the arm fucking gave out. But I dropped the camera on my chest.
Yeah.
I was like, I'm
But
out.
you kept going.
And so but I started. I did one dancing video, and it sold out my whole tour.
Yeah.
It was like $1,200, and I took dancing lessons from this great dancer, and it sold out my whole tour, and added second shows and sold those out.
It's beautiful.
And then, but I think I didn't really pay attention to that until Segura did his fucking his dancing video. He put like 45,000-60,000 into it.
Yeah.
And he sold his Australian tour out and added shows there. So he made the money back. And then everyone's like, what the fuck? And so I literally was like, oh, then that's what I got to do. So then the next one I did, I just got a marching band to come over to my house.
Yeah.
And I was like, hey, just have them come over. And then they just came over.
Yeah.
I was like, we'll figure something out.
Yeah.
I was like, you guys know a song? And they're like, we can all play Rubber Band Man. And I was like,
Perfect.
awesome, we'll do it. And
Yeah.
so, but we did the video in like 10 minutes.
Uh-huh.
And then they were like, well, you got us for like 2 hours. And so I was like, well, fuck, let's just go around my house and play Rubber Band Man.
Yeah.
In different places. But I find the creative for me starts with just start, turn the camera on.
Oh yeah, overshoot it and you'll find that golden moment, and it won't even be written down or when you think about it. But I mean, yeah, it's like a flyer doesn't work anymore. People are like bored. It's like, you're a comedian. You should be able to make me, if you can make me laugh on a flyer or an announcement for a city, I'll be there. So it's like, I would always try to do, or guys that do Photoshop, which is good if you're like going to play a certain place and you're like photoshopping yourself on like something that's big in that city. That always helps. But I feel like just like me being like thumbs up, be like Cleveland this weekend, people are like, I don't give a shit. But if you were able to make them laugh on a promo, that's how you get them hooked. So.
Well, I got started with these. This is why I have these up. This was the turning point of me deciding to take over my career and saying, what I'll do is I'll pay an artist and have him draw the picture, and then I'll put it on Instagram, and people see the artwork. And I noticed that like pictures would get more likes than videos sometimes.
Yeah.
So I was like, I'll put the artwork up, and then you'd go, oh shit, he's at Helium. Yeah. And then I fucking sold these on the road.
Yeah. No, they're really well done. It makes sense. You make the money back. You got to spend money to like make money. So you invest in yourself and all that stuff, because mainly it's like, and photos always do better than videos when it comes to promoting sometimes, because it's just so simple. You're like, I'm on a bus. I don't have headphones. I can't listen to the video. You're just scrolling. You're like, oh, look at this funny photo of Bert. Oh, he's going to be here. Boom, boom. Yeah. You know, so
how much on average do you spend on a video?
Real cheap. I mean, I got a camera guy I pay monthly, and then he shoots and edits. The most I'll spend is like $1,000 on like a WeWork space or like a Squarespace, like just like renting a location. But other than that, it's like, dude, it's like I've lived in LA for 7 years, so I just know all the places you can be. Like, I film at Santa Monica College all the time. There's nobody ever there. I don't think anybody goes to college there. I don't know if it's a real school. I think it's just a DeVry University part 2. But you can use that as a film set. You know, it's low key. It's me, him, and then maybe one other person. And then parks are great, apartments. You know, So the most I probably spend, maybe $2,000 to $3,000, and usually the ones I spend the more money on kind of flop. So it depends. You know, it just doesn't feel as authentic sometimes.
I have a promo shoot I'm doing next week. I don't know. Hopefully this will. I've posted it before this came out. Yeah. But I'm doing the Greek on Cinco de Mayo.
It's awesome.
And so I was like, I really want to get a mariachi band. Yeah. And I want to announce it. But we announced it through Netflix. Netflix announced it already. And I think it's almost sold out. But I was like, a promo video still just fucking, there's nothing better than promoting something that's already sold out. Because then when people can't get it, they're like, oh, fuck, I missed it. Right. So I wanted a mariachi band. And then I found this band called Metalachi.
I've heard of them.
And they play rock on mariachis.
Yeah.
So I was like, all right, get them. Let's get the Greek, and we'll do it at the Greek at sunset when it's beautiful. Yeah. And I was like, let's just do it. And then immediately managers and agents are like, I need like a shot list. And I was like, no. Don't worry. And by the way, all that's working good is reels. So they need to be shot like that anyway.
Yeah. Your camera guy is vertical on this whole thing.
Your camera guy is actually really good.
Thanks.
He shoots it. I was watching some of his shots and I was like, it moves quickly. It
Yeah,
moves funny.
pacing.
Is
Yeah.
that am I crazy?
No. It's supposed to do that because like with camera movements and like punch-ins and zooms, that's like an added joke. Because it's like The Office and Parks and Rec, they all kind of master that where it's like a reaction is it says a lot. But then if you zoom in on a reaction, it's like an emphasis. It's like an exclamation point. So adding a zoom on somebody's face.
Did you know that when going into that? Was this because I'm watching your videos and I'm going, God damn it, man. I want to send these to my cameraman so that they know, because was that a cognizant decision that you told your cameraman?
Yeah. It was like kind of trial and error too. You'd be like, I kind of like I always like tripods to me just feel so like we're in LA film school. Put the tripod down I just like that hands-on because it feels more real and it feels it flows better. So I think it's trial and error. And I saw like this isn't anything new that we did, but like a lot of shows, like I said, Parks and Recs and Office, do a lot of handheld shots. And then I was like, let's do handheld and let's use a lot of zooms just to kind of like, it speeds up the shots a lot too. And it catches your attention because people look at how fast people just scroll. It's just like, you got half a second to catch somebody's eyes. So if you start on a big shot of your face punched in, now people are like, oh, what's this?
I'll tell you what, we did a episode of a podcast on our bus. And my motherfucker Halston had a handheld, and he was going back and forth, kind of like Logan Paul does.
Yes,
and we said that to you. He goes, "That's what Logan Paul does."
Logan does it,
and I was, and by the way, Logan Paul's podcast moves so quickly.
Yeah,
but part of me goes, "Does it, or is it the fucking?"
They're the first podcast I saw to do that, but it makes sense for his audience.
They were the first podcast I saw to do that, and I thought they were fucking up.
Yeah.
I was like, what? Come on, man.
How much ketamine is this guy on? Just swinging back and forth.
Do you only have one camera?
Yeah, exactly.
Get two.
But it does pace it well. And if you time it right and you get a good reaction, like it makes people want to watch it on YouTube versus Spotify or something like that. So yeah, no, I think it adds, it's more like a fly on the wall. It's like, whoa, what's he going to say? And I think it elevates jokes.
Brings an energy to the podcast.
Yeah.
And whatever you're watching.
Exactly. Because podcasts, tripod, hanging out, conversation. Nobody's really watching tripod or podcast to be like, dude, this gets fucking insane, you know? So, but that does add that extra layer.
I think not to shift this interview, but Logan Paul's podcast is so interesting because it's not like it's, for some reason, I don't feel like a fly on the wall. I feel like a spectator.
Yes.
I don't feel like some podcasts I love because like I used to love old school Rogan because it was so fly on the wall.
Yeah.
Like, it was literally like you felt like, and I'm certain that's what, made it popular. But his phone would ring and his cat would fucking go into the bathroom and they'd be like, hey, and you'd be off mic and Joey would have the mic off. I loved it because you could put it on in a hotel room bed and just fucking feel like they were in the next room talking.
Right.
But Logan's is very it's bigger, I think. It's not obvious, nothing's bigger than Rogan, but it feels bigger. It feels produced. It feels like they're aware. I think they also came from a different time of media. So do
Correct.
you.
Yeah.
Like you guys are so much.
It's just attention spans, I have very like for videos, I'm always like start on, it sounds conceited, but it says start on my face, start with the zoom. Because, as much as, I went to film school, so I love a good cinematography shot, but it's like nobody gives a fuck about a slow-mo of the sun rising, So it's like, for me, it's like start on the face. That way when people are scrolling, if they like me, they're like, oh, Trevor posted. Instead of like waiting 10 seconds and it's like a slow-mo of a chicken crossing the road. And then it reveals me. It's like, you've lost half the audience.
So who do you like? Who do you watch that you like where you go, oh, they're killing it? Jimmy Tatro, obviously.
Jimmy was a big inspiration on that. Trying to think,
Jimmy and you are also kind of interesting because you guys are kind of quiet guys. Like you're not like I'm not that guy.
I've never met him personally.
Are you serious?
We follow each other on Instagram, but we've never connected.
He plays young me in my movie.
Yeah, I saw you guys were shooting that together. He plays the young you?
Yeah.
That's tight, dude.
Yeah.
I saw you guys. Where were you guys filming that?
Serbia.
Yeah.
We were in Serbia for a while.
How'd you guys pick Serbia?
We needed a. I don't know.
I was
wasn't
gonna
part of it.
say, you could've gone
I'm
to, like,
sitting here
Palm
talking like I
Springs.
had any decision in it.
I know.
I think it
It
probably.
just sounds better than be like, hey, we're in Victorville, California. It'd be like, we're in Serbia filming a movie.
I don't know. I think we wanted to be somewhere where it looked like Russia, so we could.
Makes sense.
But I think Russia was kind of difficult to shoot in, probably
Yeah.
more expensive,
Dangerous.
So we needed a place that was Russia adjacent.
Gotcha.
But Jimmy's a quiet guy, and
Yeah.
then Jimmy, I watched his brain work, and he's like you in that he goes, I'll just shoot it. Like there's a lot of people, there's a lot of comics that are embarrassed to like pick up the phone and be like, what's up, everybody?
Yeah, there is a barrier, and you just kind of get over it.
You have to.
Well, exactly. Yeah, there's a moment where it's like, and I think everybody goes through this. They're like, nah, comedy, it only belongs on stage through the mouth. I don't need no fucking filters to do this and that. But the pandemic really changed that for a lot of people. I saw a lot of people really start moving tickets because over the pandemic, they're like, I'm locked in. I got an iPhone 7 with a cracked screen. Let's fucking go.
Yeah.
Let's figure it out, And they did.
So who else do you like? You like Jimmy? You like?
I'm trying to think who I really watch. There's a guy, Andrew McCallahan. He does Channel 5. If you guys know him, he used to go on this channel, All Gas No Breaks, but he does like interview type stuff. And, but the way he edits it is, it creates this narrative and his jokes on top of jokes. And you'll notice with his editing and Zoom style,
what's his name? Andrew
Callahan. It used to go by All Gas No Breaks. That's what most people know him from. But now he has his own channel called Channel 5.
What's his? Is it Andrew.me?
Yes, but if you go to like All Gas No Breaks, but he'll go to like the ICP Juggalo, like just like the festival, and he'll be in there. And he'll just leave a microphone out, but how he edits it, it's great.
Oh, I've seen this guy. That's fucking great.
But it's it's great. He's just out there dressed like that on a beach where it's like you clearly stand out. There's gonna be some people, and the people that come up to him in this probably hammered. Most people be like, it's probably just some guy doing a school project. But these people are like, I need to talk to this guy. He just holds the mic out, and he's just sitting there knowing in the back of his head like, oh, this is gold. And then you just go
it's
back
almost
and
like
edit.
Borat shit.
Yeah,
where you get.
I love that type of stuff. I love that like man on the field. One of my favorite. What is it? Billy on the Streets, Billy Eichner.
Oh yeah,
that stuff is so funny to me. It's raw. It's in the moment. It's quick. It's fast. Like just running up to somebody, miss for $1, how much? And people just like panicking. It's like it's so he really does really well in here, just capturing quick moments, and the edits are so funny. He's somebody I watch, but in terms of like sketch comedy and stuff like that.
Yeah, because that has to be like an obvious question that you're like, why don't you have your own show?
I pitched someone over the pandemic, and where the idea ended up versus what it started and how many people had their hands on it. It just, the original idea was so far from what it became 6 months down the road. I was like, even if this got bought, like, would I even enjoy filming my own passion project?
Yeah.
And I just kind of lost interest on it. Just takes so long. And I'm like all about like the reason things go viral is because it's timely. You're like, people are talking about bang today. Let's make it today. Put it out tomorrow. It's exciting. You're like, because I think of every trend like a tidal wave, and you're like, I'm just trying to get on that surfboard before it breaks. And with Hollywood, a lot of times why there's a cringy moment or something that seems outdated, it's like when they did that on camera, it was fine. But now, 3 years later, after the edit and they did the color correction on the grass because it was too bright and green, it's like the joke's done. So I'm just about like, let's do it now. Let's get it out.
Yeah, and I think that immediacy is what is. I feel that way with fucking. Do you ever when you shoot like a video and you get it and it's done? Don't you feel like this urgency? Like, I want to post this now.
Yeah,
I have a team that I send it to because I don't really I stay away from. I try to stay away from any comments, anything.
Yeah,
because it's there's nothing good comes out of it.
Oh no, I'll read them for you if you want.
Oh fuck no, God.
No. But it is. There's something about like you're like it's done and I need people to see it now.
I want it now. I want it out now.
Yeah.
And it's funny there is a thing with Hollywood where you go. I have a couple projects where you're like, hey man, I'm losing interest in this.
Dude, I mean, it's nuts. It's just like, but that's why I think South Park is so successful is because they're always on the now. They're like, this happened. Here's the answer. It's like South Park can go until the end of time because there's always something that's happening in the news that they can do. But it's I don't know. I see both sides to it. Do I want to do traditional? Yeah. If you offered me a role in the movie, fuck yeah, I would do anything.
I'm shocked that you don't have a ton of roles.
I've gone out for shit. I never book anything. But that's
I'll tell you right now, the next movie I do, you're definitely in.
Fucking let me know, man. But it's like I'm auditioning for shit where I go, do I want to
be careful what you wish for. I told Jimmy, we were, my wife and I were fans of Jimmy's, and then we got Jimmy to do the movie, and Jimmy did the movie like legit. I mean, I think he did the movie because he was a fan. Like I think he did. Yeah, it wasn't just like a job. And then I said something. We were drunk in a pool one night. I was like, dude, the next movie, and then I'm a lot to be around. And Jimmy was just like, hey man, I think I might be done doing Bert Kreischer movies.
Oh, really?
And I go, really? He goes,
this is the first one.
He's like, because I'm really immersive. I want everyone to be around each other. I want everyone to hang out.
Loving,
I want everyone
big family,
to,
yeah.
And Jimmy's a pretty private guy, and I can be a lot to be around. And he was like, maybe I was like, hey, I want him to play me again. He goes, I think I'm done playing Bert Kreischer.
I'm tapped out. Dude, I'll do it. I'll be young Bert growing up. All right?
It's so funny. I looked more like you than I did when I was young.
I would love to see a photo of what Jimmy looked like playing you as a young guy.
He looks like Jimmy. I mean, it looks like he's just so fucking funny that he's perfect for it. The first scene that he's in is, I mean, I don't want to.
Yeah. When does that come out?
I don't know.
Hollywood, dude.
Yeah.
2048.
I don't know. It's from the moment we pitched that is like.
Yeah. When did you pitch it? And that's another thing. It's like, I've been working on this since 2015. I'm like, it's the weirdest industry where it's like,
I'll tell you,
you get rejected, and then 3 years later, like, you still got that idea you're sitting on.
A lot of people didn't make New Year's resolutions this year, and you know what? I get it, but that doesn't mean you shouldn't still find ways to shake it up. Whether it's switching up your workout routine or going someplace new to work out, whatever you challenge yourself with this new year, there's no better way to do it than with a pair of Raycon wireless earbuds. Raycon wireless earbuds are the best way to bring audio with you, because no matter how much you shake things up, literally no matter how much you shake, they are not falling out of your ear. Their everyday earbuds look and feel and sound better than ever. They're also have an awareness mode when you need to listen to your surroundings. Like when you're in New York, I didn't realize how treacherous earbuds could be in New York. So you can take them wherever you go. They optimize with gel tips for the perfect inner fit. These earbuds are so comfortable, they will not budge. Trust me, they will not budge. I throw them in before I go to sleep with Leanne, listen to a podcast. I wake up, they're still in there. They offer 8 hours of playtime with 32-hour battery life, and they're priced perfectly. You get great quality audio for half the price of the other premium audio brands. It's no wonder that Raycon's everyday earbuds have over 48,000 five-star reviews. Right now, Bertcast listeners can get 15% off their Raycon order at buyraycon.com/Bertcast. That's buyraycon.com/Bertcast to save 15% off on Raycons. Buyraycon.com/Bertcast. What's interesting is I met the producer for my. Do you have a time you have to get out of here by any chance?
I got an hour.
Okay. I met the producer of my movie probably 8 years ago.
Wow.
I met him at Flappers, and he said, "You're hilarious. I want to do a movie with you." And I was like, "Okay." And he gave me his number. He worked at Legendary at the time, I think.
Yeah.
And I put it on my pin board, and I always saw it, and I was like, one day, maybe.
Yeah, there's so many open conversations. Like, you're hilarious. Let's do a thing. And you're like, I'd love to, but what?
And then one day I went in to a meeting, and it had to be, let's see, this 1 year. It had to be 4 years ago. 3 years ago, we probably pitched them. I'm going to say 4 years ago, I probably went in to pitch a machine. And I went in, and he said, he's like, I've been wanting to do a movie with you forever. What do you want to do? He's like, whatever you want to do, we're doing.
Wow.
And I was like, well, fuck. And then I pitched him 3 ideas, and then he was like, all right, hang on. You got to make a movie. What are you going to make? And I was like, well, it's got to be The Machine. He was like, exactly. And then he was like, what do you think? And I just told him, I was like, I'm afraid to do that movie because I'm afraid one day the Russian mob will see it and they'll kidnap me. And he was like, sold. And I was like, what? And he was like,
the movie was successful.
Yeah, he goes, it's sold. I'm done. We're making a movie. And then you go through all this shit of just
rewrites and rewrites.
Just all this shit. And then still we're waiting. You got to take it to distributors and see what,
Oh, yeah. Does it have a set home?
No, but I mean, no, not yet.
Yeah.
I don't know. But I don't really, kind of tapped out of it after the edit, after notes, all the
Yeah.
business side. There's nothing I can fucking do.
You brought the story and yourself to it. Now it's like up to the Hollywood side
All
of
I do
things.
now is think of other ideas. I love thinking of ideas.
Yeah.
I want to talk to you about stand-up because that's the thing I loved about stand-up. And that's the thing I love about what you do.
Mhm.
On the social media side, but what I love ideas. I love coming up with an idea.
Yeah.
I love fiddling with an idea until it finally works.
Right.
I love fucking with something like,
And that's why videos are great because they're much more forgiving. Because you have like 30 minutes of footage and then you try different clips in different places. You're like, okay, is this funny in the best? No, let's put that at the end. And you just watch it so many times. It's like with stand-up, it's just kind of like words. And you're like, if it was video clips, you can move around. It's so easy to see it in your head. You're like, we're going to start here. It's like, you can see the full product start to finish, but stand-up, it's kind of just like, I have an idea and I think this is funny. Let's just see. And then you throw out and you get a few nibbles and you're like, oh, you get a big pop. And then you get excited. You're like, okay, this has a big pop. Do I trim it? Do I add more? So it's like, it's fascinating on both sides.
so you, when you graduated college, you moved down here and just start doing stand-up or stay with Vine?
Both, but Vine was kind of dying out. So I was just doing like open mics. Like from 2015, 2017, I wasn't even making videos. I was just doing stand-up, right?
Really?
Just stand-ups. Yeah. I lived in the Valley. I lived in a pool house on fucking Moore Park,
Yeah.
right by, what was it by? There was a Oyster House, if you know where that is.
Yeah, I do. I know exactly where that is.
Yeah. I used to go to that open
That
mic.
Oyster House is really great.
Oh, I never went there for food. I just went there for the open mic. But
For real?
Yeah.
Oh, one of my good friends is like, that fucking food's legit.
Oh, really? Well,
yeah.
fucked up,
There's an
but-
open mic there?
Yeah, it was like every Monday.
I would love to fucking hit open mics again.
Oh, dude, there were plenty. But I met some cool guys through that who I still know to this day and whatnot. But I was just doing mics. And I was like, there's got to be like something like a better way, because I'm doing this, but you're only as funny as like these 30 people in the room are, and I was like, this feels so outdated. So I go like, I got a film degree. Let's start making shit again. Then I was like, I think Facebook videos are going to be big because it's shareability. It's like, it's the snowball effect. That's why videos blow up is you can share it, So I was like, I'm gonna start making videos and put them on Facebook. And then I was also putting them on YouTube and just doing both at the same time. And that's when that Zoomies video hit after like a year and some change of like making shit constantly while doing stand-up. And then I was just kind of doing both. And then all of a sudden it's like, I'm doing a show that I'm posting about and like 2 or 3 people come out for me. And I was like, oh shit. And then a little bit more and then a little bit more. And then in 2018, my friend's like, dude, you can quit your job. Just start doing one-nighters. And I was like, I don't have a 45-minute set. He's like, well, figure it out. And I did a 45-minute set in San Diego at the Comedy Palace, 2018, one-nighter. And it was the most mangled 45 minutes you can think of. But I think I definitely went under the light, got like 39. I was like, oh, thank you, good night. But
that's so funny. That's something we've all shared. That's something every professional comedian has. That's a great. Sometimes I look for a through line for all of us.
Yeah,
because we all know what it's like to get on stage the first time. We all know what it's like to bomb.
Yeah,
we all know what it's like to kill. Not everyone, but most of us know what it's like to have a great dream set. But one of the other things is that first time you've got to do 45 minutes.
Oh, yeah.
Someone says, how much time do you have? And you're like, I got like 45. And they're like, oh, cool. Can you headline? And then you start going, fuck.
Yeah, you're on your closer and you're like, oh, 22 minutes. All right, yeah.
I got that again. I got that feeling again.
Really?
Yeah. So I did this drive-in tour and drive-in movie theaters.
Yeah.
And I hadn't been on stage for a while because of the pandemic. And we were doing it during the pandemic.
Mm-hmm.
And I went on stage the first time. It was in North Carolina. We did 2 shows. And the first show, I got on stage and I got through my material at 35 minutes. Oh, no. And I was like, I think I'm going to tell the machine twice. Like I was, but I hadn't had that feeling.
But in Russian this time, yeah.
I hadn't had that feeling before. And I had all new material. So I hadn't done old stuff in a while, a long time.
And surely you had bits in the back that were like, not especially could have done, but you're on the spot. You're in the pressure, you're in the moment. You're like, so what'd you do?
I told every story they wanted to hear. I told the Will Smith story. I told the Machine story. I told the fucking, You name it. I went through and I made sure they had a good time because a lot of
100%.
and I was like, but all of my new material that had been an hour in a theater. That's the other thing is that an hour in a club is not like an hour in a theater.
Right.
So you'll get that experience again when you start doing theaters.
I just started doing theaters right now.
Yeah, and
it's
you'll
like,
see.
I'm doing like an hour 10. I'm like, what? I got that? But dude, if I did that in an outside, like I did some shows with Theo and Red Bank, and they were all outside. And he's like, yeah, just do 25. And I'll be looking at my phone and be like, cool, I got 25. Look, boom. I'm like, I'm at 18. All right. Look. But it's the acoustics and that build. But I remember when I did that first headlining show, I timed it out to make sure I had the material. I went word by word in my room, start the timer. All right, here's the set list. Let's go.
Did you write I wrote my whole set list on a piece of paper and put it on there. Every joke I had. Every
next to
joke
the phone
I had.
and the water bottle.
Every fucking joke I had.
Wow.
That's such a fucking common shared. Mine was at the Boston Comedy Club for Sirius Radio.
Yeah.
They were recording our specials. And I got the offer. I've been doing stand-up 6 months.
6 months?
Maybe a year.
To do an hour?
Me, Patrice O'Neill, and my manager was Bertcast, and I said, what do I do? And he goes, Papa, you just tell every single joke you have.
Yeah.
And he was like, write every joke, write everything, like write one word for every joke you have, put on a piece of paper, and just go through and tell and just look at the paper. It's an audio. No one's gonna see you.
Oh, right.
So I just went through and I did. Of course, I did it wrong. And then Patrice O'Neill took the piece of paper and ripped it in half. He goes, "You're not that comic." And I went, "What?" And he goes, "You're not a set list comic." He was like, "You are a feel it, speak it, say it comic."
That's such a cool moment.
And he's like, I don't ever want to see you. Me and him had a really good, weird, very honest friendship. But he was like, I don't ever want to see you. He said that a number of times of things I did that he's like, I don't ever want to see you do that again.
Yeah. It's a crutch. Deep down, you know what it is, but it's a crutch. Just
I still do it. I still when I do specials, see those stools, I'll write every joke, this order I want to do it in, just so that it's a crutch. I don't look at it, but
mentally you're like, heaven forbid somebody starts throwing up, spins a show in a circle, I can pick up here again.
Yeah.
Yeah. I remember when I started doing stand-up at 17, but I remember in college I'd do it off and on. And then I knew that the kind of the arts a little bit of it. And we saw Nick Swartzen, who I love. He's one of my favorite. Seriously, Who Farted is probably like one of my favorite specials. And we saw him at the San Jose Improv, and I knew enough about stand-up, and I saw him with the set list on the stage, and I was like, that's cheating. You can't do that. My friend's like, shut the fuck up. And now I'm up there being like, yeah, Nick, thank you for the tips, But it's those little things.
Wait, who else did you see him when you were at San Jose State?
I saw him. I saw, what is it? Craig
Shoemaker?
Yes.
Yep.
He was the first guy I saw, and he murdered.
Yeah, he does
murder. I saw Jesselnick.
Yeah.
Jesselnick did great. What else did I see there?
You see Tosh?
No.
You seem like someone who would have liked
Tosh. Tosh is great. I think Tosh is one of the most underrated stand-ups, around.
I think he's totally overrated. Anyway,
really?
No, I'm
yeah,
kidding,
fuck him. Shut him down. Get him on here. He's great.
I've known Tosh for a while. I think he's amazing.
Oh yeah, his specials are awesome. Who else did I see there? Those are really the big ones. Because I was still in college, so I had to pay to do all that type of stuff. But those are the cool ones. I remember saying I saw Bert in college in Long Beach, I believe. Back because my family's down here, so me and my dad saw Bert out there. We saw Sebastian at the same theater a while back. But yeah, that was
so then you come down, you graduate college, you come down.
Mm-hmm.
I love that because I remember my brain going, so you're telling me that this job is just for an hour at night.
Yeah.
And then I was like, and then what am I supposed to do the rest of the day?
Yeah.
And I remember hearing Jerry Seinfeld say he walked past a construction site and he saw the guys working all day and he thought, I should put as much effort into my job as they do their job.
Yeah.
And I was like, yeah, but you can't write for 8 hours.
You'll drive yourself insane.
And I was like, all right, you got to make something. You got to write a script. You got to do something. But then when the phones and podcasting and everything started transitioning, I was like, oh, this is what you
pick
do.
your head up. Yeah. And
it was
like, oh shit.
And it was crazy because I go, you can be in control of your own destiny.
Yeah.
Being out of control, that's early comic shit. You never even got to experience. But like my generation of comics, we were all just sitting by the fucking phone, waiting for Comedy Central to say yes, and then,
waiting for that late night spot.
No, I never. I mean, I was never getting that. We were going to get, if anything, you'd get a 30-minute, half hour was like half hour.
But what was the outlet? How did you get big kind of early on? It had to be from that, right? There wasn't really anything else you could do.
So
or movies, I guess. But.
My career is very bizarre because, I got written up in Rolling Stone magazine. Oliver Stone optioned the rights to my life. By the way, sidebar, I might be hanging out with Oliver Stone this weekend. Fucking
flex.
Don't think I'm not bringing the best weed I have.
Oh yeah, dude. And the matching tracksuit.
Yeah, and the matching tracksuit.
Yeah,
no,
I'm
going to be
Kevin
dressed.
Hart's, by the way.
I'm going to be dressed in hardcore cultural appropriation, Asian garb, head to toe.
I think it's a great idea.
So, and then I hosted a show. I hosted a late night talk show, like a year into comedy. I got booked hosting a show while I had these deals, and so I learned how to host, and so I could pay the bills by doing hosting pilots for like people that had, it was like 10 grand was what you could get paid. It was a lot of money for me back then. Yeah. And so I hosted things. And so throughout my career, I could do stand up, but then do a hosting job. Like I do, Verizon one time paid me like $10,000 to do man on the street stuff. Yeah. And so I could do that. And
as a stand up, that's easy. Hosting as a stand up is great. Cause it's like, you see, I booked a few things just because off the cuff, you're ready for whatever's thrown at you. And you're like, whoa, you're so good at just being in the room. You're like, yeah, because I got a guy throw pina colada at me last night at a bar. Yeah. Like I can just kind of handle and adapt. So
I did that, and then from that, got into Travel Channel. But from when we were kids in comedy, waiting for Comedy Central to say yes, to being someone like now that you're the prototype. You're the way it works. I will decide I'll do a theater tour. I will get this fan base. Yeah. I'll do all this myself. I don't need a fucking soul. Yeah. I don't need you to book me in a movie. I don't need you to book me at your fucking clubs. I'll do it all myself. That's like more dudes my age should have what you have, and you'd be shocked. Cause I just did that. I was like, I'm gonna do Australia. Great. I'll come up with a promo video.
Figure it out.
Yeah. I'll figure out a way.
It's like fun. You're like, I'm funny. Let me test it in marketing. Let me test it in networking. Let me test. I mean, it's in a lot of people are doing that right now too. I mean, Schultz is like the poster child for like just being like, fuck this. I'm going to do it myself. That too. So, but it's like fun to just see people kind of like, there's a pack of everybody heading towards like, we want this. And then it's fun to see people kind of jump ship and be like, I'm gonna figure it out on my own. And it's fun to like watch their trajectory.
We get the fucking typical guy our age, dude. What the fuck are you doing that for? What the fuck?
Yeah.
What the fuck? By the way, I think I'm doing his voice, but
is that who I think it is?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
It's like there's an old school mentality of don't put yourself out online, don't put yourself out in videos to promote dates. You put the tickets on sale, they sell, right? And then you look at, hey, I don't want to roll the dice on that. Yeah. And by the way, I kind of want to add a show. Like that's the way I look at it.
If I'm fucking taking a connecting flight to Dubuque, I'm adding a second show.
Today, I'm 49 years old, and this morning, I sat and learned DaBaby's whole dance.
Yeah,
because I like it, and I thought in a moment of realness, if this comes out. If I start banging out DaBaby's dance, then that'll be a big video. I could use that. And so then I plant that seed in my head of this little thing of what the Jabberwockies have a great move where they're doing this. And then they go like, and I was like, I'll learn that.
Yeah.
And so, but what's fun for me is that's also our job.
Yeah. Well, it's also our job. I remember early on, I was like, I want to do video stuff and YouTube, kind of what Jimmy did. You do YouTube and then you jump to TV. I was like, I want to do that. I don't want to be in my 40s doing swipe ups. But the longer I live, the more I'm like, yeah, I do.
Yeah, you do.
I want to be at my own house, not on a production set at 6 a.m. doing some weird green screen thing. When I can just in my kitchen, it's like, this is the new norm. Your Instagram, your YouTube, everything, that's your own network. It's a TV show. It's a channel.
Yeah.
A guy, Kev on Stage, is a guy who really taught me. Have you heard of him? Kev on Stage. I used to work with him, and he moves tickets. He's in with like Tony Baker and those guys.
I know Tony Baker.
Tony Baker, him and Tony tour.
His name's Kevin on Stage?
Kev on Stage. Have you ever seen this guy? He's one of the smartest people I know in this town. He didn't get anything from Hollywood. He made his own streaming platform like Netflix, and he moves tickets. He was a Christian guy, but now he like does he used to do churches. Now he's doing like damn near theaters. But he's somebody who like he's just always on Instagram. He's doing swipe ups. He's doing everything, and he's taking his rejections from the city and just making them his own thing. And the guy is just he's shooting his own like pilots and shows, and he's got it locked down for motherfuckers on Roku. Who do you know that's on Roku? You know,
on Roku.
He got Roku, Android TV.
Trial. Kevin on stage.
But he started doing stand up in Washington. Oh, he's a great guy. He started doing stand up in Washington with Big Irish J. And
I know Big Irish J.
They know
Big
each other.
Irish J is great.
Yeah, so they know each other from Seattle, and then he just started. We worked together for Russell Simmons of all people. Me and him worked together with Russell, and then the company went under. He started doing his own thing, and now he's got his own platform.
I got to get him on the podcast.
Dude, he's great. Yeah, he shoots. He shot Dustin Nickerson's special. Dustin opens for Taylor Thomason.
I know Dustin.
Yeah, so he produces a bunch of like stand up and TV shows, and during the pandemic, he did all these like live stream stand up like specials and whatnot.
It sucks that out of all the great comics I knew, that they weren't born now. Meaning like because there's so many fucking genius comics that they had a single mindset, and there's nothing wrong with that. But now when you see guys that you can be entrepreneurial, and I would, there was a time where I was like, you could not pay me to do television because there's so much money in podcasting and stand up. Especially when you start doing the theaters. Have you started your theater tour?
I just started the theater tour, and I just 2 weekends into the theaters.
Where's it? Pull up your tour dates real quick.
Yeah, please do if you want. You just go to trevorwallacecomedy.com because trevorwalls.com is too expensive. We got Trevor Wallace Comedy for $13 a year.
I got Bert.
Yeah.
Because Bert was a dog.
Yeah, so right there we got all that. We just added Austin and Dallas and whatnot.
So wait, did you just do Tampa?
We just did Chicago, Milwaukee.
Did you do New Orleans, Tampa, Orlando?
Yes, we've done those.
Where were you? Joy Theater?
Joy Theater in New Orleans.
Tampa Theater?
Tampa Theater was one of my favorite shows.
Hard Rock?
In a while.
Hard Rock in Orlando?
Play something live. It used to be a movie theater.
Oh, yeah?
It was fun.
Yeah.
But Milwaukee, we did Turner Hall. Chicago, we did the Vic, which was gorgeous.
Yeah, it's gorgeous.
And then DC, we're doing Lincoln. And then Royal Oak, Michigan, I'm excited for. That was supposed to be gorgeous.
Royal Oak, Michigan's a fun place. Columbus, Ohio. St. Louis. I think you're going to play the same place I played in Columbus. There's a great river walk right by it.
Yeah, what's it called again?
And I forget the name of it. It's the Palace or something, maybe.
Yeah, I believe so, yeah.
And there's a great river walk by it. And it's really, like, if you go right before your show, get a cup of coffee and go down at sunset and walk the river walk to sunsets, it's fucking gorgeous.
I'm all about
Ohio's one of the greatest places on the planet.
My dad's from Ohio. Yeah.
St. Louis, Kansas City, Minneapolis, Sacramento, Portland. You're going to be adding shows in Portland.
Oh, yeah,
You'll
Portland
be adding shows in Seattle, New York, Boston, Durham, Atlanta, Buffalo, Toronto. This is a legit fucking theater tour.
Yeah, I got some good people working with me. So
who do you work with?
I'm with WME.
Oh, nice.
Yeah,
I know them. Who you with?
Berk.
Oh, I don't. Oh, Berkowitz.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's Burr and Pete's guy.
Yeah.
But,
Pete who?
Davison.
Oh,
sorry.
So funny. My Pete's, my assistant's name's Pete. Immediately, I think of.
Your assistant's too.
I think of Pete. You just made it weird. You just made it Pete Holmes.
Pete Holmes.
Pete Holmes is my Pete in comedy.
Right. Sorry about that. Yeah, I've never met Pete Davidson, but I thought we were like, hey, we're flexing. Let me throw out Pete Davidson. He's like my head guy. But
Pete Davidson's
the people
awesome.
that work under my main agent are like my day-to-day people, but they're great, man. They're awesome. They've input and they've
Tommy's over there.
Who?
Tom Segura is over.
Oh, yes. Yeah. I mean, they have an insane roster.
They're a great. So that's a legit fucking theater.
Yeah, it's a legit one.
You doing a bus at all?
Sprinter vans. A lot of sprinter. It's a lot of like flying to a city and then sprinter to the next.
Sprinter to the next. Sprinter to the next. Nice.
The bus one, I think the next one will be cool. I see what you guys are doing. Steve's the man. Also, I know Dave from his room. He used to do an El Segundo at Flights from years back. I used to do that. He was talking about you on the bus the other day. Oh, really?
Yeah.
I've known Dave for a while.
Yeah, it's Oh, it's a different game. It's so much fun.
Dude,
Do you party?
It looks fun. Yeah, a little bit.
Not like
Not crazy. It's like if I'm doing 3 nights, I'll drink on the last night just because I don't want to be hungover. So not really partying. That's what
the answer is no.
Yeah, I was talking to
Just
Steve.
for the record, you don't party.
No. In your guys' world, I'm a pussy, is what they call it. Let's be real. Let's not beat around the bush. I'm a bitch. All right. The only bush I'm beating around is the bush light because I ain't drinking it. All right. No, I talked to Steve. He said that in New Orleans, you guys were so drunk you barely even made it on stage. I'm like, that's aggressive for me. Me doing stand up hungover, that's my worst nightmare.
For real?
Yeah, because I'm sweating. For me, I like to be like agile, just a bunch of caffeine, just on edge, like ready for whatever.
Yeah.
So if I'm hungover, I'm just sweating before I'm going up. I'm stumbling on words, you know?
Oh no.
I just never got into it.
So what I might take over a night and call it 5-shot comedy,
Yeah.
where you have to be 5 shots into the night to do stand up. Well, I'm sure someone's already done that. But there's a thing about creating drunk, and I don't ever drink on stage. I mean, I drink on stage. I'll take a drink on stage,
Right.
and I'll have it on my late show when I start the machine. That's when I'll have my first drink of the night.
There you go. Yeah, you got to
I'm clearly a professional comedian. All I give a fuck about is comedy.
Yeah.
All I care about is comedy.
Right.
I never am going to sacrifice the thing I love for alcohol. That will never happen, ever. I look at guys who have leveraged comedy, this great fucking thing we get to do, and leveraged it for alcoholism, and I'm just like, that's not like it's a treat that we get to drink on stage, but you can't. You got the thing on stage is the thing. Not
Right.
don't let the alcohol be the thing.
Yeah, you can only drink on stage if it makes her act better or something.
There's a fucking outlier always,
Mhm.
and that is every now and then I will go up drunk,
There we go.
and especially when I'm bored with my act. When I'm like bored with my act, because what will
That's a good way
happen
to
is
look at it.
you'll fuck it up. You'll inevitably fuck up your act, and you'll be forced to think in the moment and create in the moment to refix it.
Wow, okay.
So in Calgary, I had this great joke. I had this joke about Isla, a story about Isla waking me up, asking about time travel. And then I had this story about Isla leaving her deodorant in the refrigerator. And I started the deodorant in the refrigerator, and then I forgot to finish it. I forgot to finish the joke. It was like, the joke was, my daughter leaves the refrigerator, what the fuck? And then I see her one day, she puts it under her nose, she rubs her finger across the deodorant, rubs it on her nose, puts it back, and then shuts the door. And I was like, what the fuck is that? She's like, mind your own business. And it got a bigger laugh than normal. So I'm drunk. I'm not paying attention. So I go on to the next bit. And in doing the next bit about my daughter, I realized I never finished that first bit.
Yeah.
And then and so the next bit was you can't smoke weed around this kid. You know, if I ate an edible, overserved myself, I'm laying in bed freaking out. She came in the room, it's a true story, came in the room, walked up next to me, and she goes, do you believe in time travel? And I'm like, and as I said that, I go, oh fuck, I never finished the last bit. And then I went, and then I said, I do believe in time travel. Why? And she goes, that's all I need to know. Good night. And leaves. And then I go, I can tell the end of that bit.
Yeah.
And I can put it here. And I would have never figured out if I wasn't drunk. The looseness of being drunk or high on stage, it allows you to fuck up and rework it.
Okay.
And so whereas
I do like that.
when I go and do a theater tour, like New Orleans was a different, we'd all gotten booster shots. We were all double vaxxed, and we had been so strict on tour with not going out and not being around people and not living our lives that when we got to New Orleans, I was like, things are opening up again. I was like, let's fucking treat ourselves.
Yeah.
I go, let's go have a great fucking lunch, and then let's go fucking day drink. Let's day drink, spend some money, and have a fucking blast.
Yeah.
And by the way, Steve barely made it on stage.
Oh, yeah.
I mean,
He got his act out okay, though?
I mean, he got through it. I mean, he was laying down on the ground next to the stage between his sets.
Hilarious.
But I've always been able to turn it over.
Yeah.
If I take a nap and wake up, I have coffee. It's not my favorite way to do comedy. It is after drinking during the day. But if I get a nap and have coffee, I can do it fine.
Yeah,
the second show is better than the first show, but regardless. But it was worth it because they ended up being great shows, and we had a fucking blast in New Orleans.
Yeah.
And it's like that. If you're not living your life out on the road doing stuff, do you do anything?
I like to do stuff when I'm out there.
Like
yeah.
what?
It's just if there's like a big thing, everyone's like, all right, you're in this town, you got to have these birria tacos from X place or whatever the hell it is.
Let's do this. Okay. So what's your next tour date?
The next place is DC.
All right.
DC, I don't know much about.
DC. Okay, first of all, do you jog at all?
Oh, they have this. No, that's Philly. The Rocky Stairs.
Yeah, well,
Philly?
yeah. It's Philly. DC.
Not
So
really.
DC is one of the most beautiful cities in the world.
Yeah,
It is. You got it. I mean, have you been to DC before?
I have before. Yeah.
Okay, yeah. So what we do is we do jogs around the monuments. Like we run.
Oh, that's smart.
We'll do a big group jog. We did that. We were in DC for my birthday this past year, but I'm trying to think. I mean, I've been to DC so fucking much. It's insane.
Mm-hmm.
DC, Pittsburgh,
Great comedy
Columbus.
out there, yeah.
You got to go to Permane Brothers in Pittsburgh.
I've had that great sandwiches
Oh,
before.
it's fucking
I love
great.
like just a quick 1-2 combo. It's like, oh, they got a really good coffee shop that's unique to here. Cool. Oh, Permane, that's a good sandwich out there. We'll do that. If I get like a authentic food that's not like super mainstream, like you got to get the brisket. You know, I like that like fun shit. Then I'll usually check off a city. But I'm trying to think of places like this where I can go do something a little extra. You know?
Yeah, it's you want and you reach. I always reach out to people online.
Yeah.
By the way, all I do now is play disc golf. That's all I fucking do.
Is that your jam?
That's all I do. I'm obsessed. Is because it was we did one tour where we did everything. Like we went spearfishing, we went surfing, we did like crazy stuff, and it was great. And then I love disc golf, and so I played it in college. Stopped playing when I was an adult, and I started going and touring and stuff. But we started playing again, and it gets me outside, puts me in a great mood. You can take a cold beer with you if you want.
You're not thinking about stress or whatnot.
You tap out, and your brain fucking, and you just are outside, and they're gorgeous. You go to beautiful locations.
Yeah.
So,
I would love something like that where I can do on the road because it is hard to separate like life and work.
What about pussy? It's like
I have a girlfriend.
Okay, there you go.
Yeah.
Who tours with you?
Michael Blaustein. He's got to do a podcast with, or I have two
Stiff
other
Socks?
guys. Yes, Stiff Socks. Yeah. So we do the podcast together, and then he comes on the road with me when he's doing like one night and stuff. When he's not doing those, he'll come with me. Then I got just a few other guys that I'll
That's
alternate
great.
with. Yeah. So, but it's
You
like
got to get into partying, man. Ruin your life.
yeah, no, I definitely, there's some shows like after I did Chicago, they're like, do you want anything? I was like, yeah, let me get some Casamigos in the grain room. There we go. I'm a tequila guy if I'm drinking, but I just, the hard part is I get drunk, and then that's when frat guy, college Trevor comes about, and then the ego kicks in. Because I think sober, I'm a very grounded, normal dude, but I drank a little bit, and I'm like, what do you mean we can't get in this fucking club? I'm verified on fucking Venmo, dude. Fucking let me in. So I know underneath all these layers, there's a drunk frat guy who wants to come out. Certain cities, the Los Angeles, the last one, I want to rent out a club and just be a shot or two away from puking on somebody's Pomeranian, but I want to be drunk.
Where are you at? Are you at
the Novo?
Oh, nice.
Yeah, I don't know why I picked that. It's downtown. Nobody likes downtown.
No, wait. That's such an interesting thing because I'm actually really good with dealing with people.
Yeah.
But there are times where I flip a switch.
Yeah.
I love my bird dogs. Bird Dog now has joggers. First of all, I love my shorts. My shorts are amazing. I love a pair of shorts where I don't have to look for underwear to wear them with because these are activity shorts. You're going to wear them all summer. The shorts, you're going to wear all summer. You're going to throw them on in the morning, do a workout, get in the pool, grill out, hang out by the fire late that night, maybe go out to dinner, throw on a collared shirt. They're that nice. The shorts are that nice. Now they have joggers. Bro, shut the fuck up. These joggers are awesome. They're sleek looking. They're nice looking. They look like you can wear them on a plane, and they have the built-in comfortable inseam that the shorts have. So I got them first day I got them. I wear a double XL. By the way, I'm a size 38 waist. I'm just giving you a perspective on what you should buy. But I wore them golfing. I wore them golfing with Georgia and Isla and my dad. And my dad goes, buddy, those are nice looking shorts. Those are nice looking pants. I said, Bird Dogs. He was like, for real? I said, yeah, the ones I wear when we go down to the lake house and I can't take off my American flag ones or my seersucker ones. He was like, no way, dude. It's so nice to have them. I keep them in my man cave after a workout, throw them on, jump in the pool during a workout. I love my Bird Dogs. Go to birddogs.com and enter the promo code BERT, and they will throw in a free Bird Dogs whistle football. That is birddogs.com and enter the promo code BERT, and boom, a free Bird Dogs football with your pair of Bird Dogs. Trust me, I promise you, you will not take these things off. So I walk in. I wish I had my wallet with me because I could really prove it. We were in San Francisco, and we were there for 2 nights.
Mm-hmm.
And we were there 2 nights, and so we wanted to go out drinking, and so we wanted to find a small bar, like a cool bar. And someone said, hey, there's this great little whiskey bar. They do like high-end whiskeys. And we're like,
Love
oh, cool,
that,
we'll go.
man.
So we go, we get a table, and we go to the place, and they're like, you don't have a table. And we're like, okay, my assistant called ahead. Like, okay, that's fine. But I'm never the guy that ever, because I know for a fact that I will be the guy that gets called out. So I go, it's totally fine. We'll find another bar.
Mm-hmm.
And then someone realized who I was, and like, hold on.
Yeah.
We have a bar right around the corner. We can go in and get you a drink there. It's not that crowded. And we're like, okay, great. So we walk around the corner, and I go to show my ID to the bouncer. He's like, I need IDs, vaccination cards now. And we're like, oh, this guy's gonna be a problem. So I pull out my ID, and I have 3 IDs. One's expired, one's an identification card, and one's my driver's license. I pull out the expired one, and he goes, no, man, expired, back of the line. And I was like, I was trying to say, I'm not going to the back of the line of my friends. They're going to wait for me. I'm not going to go to the back of the line and start all over. And then this isn't a line that you acquired on your own. I brought these 10, 15 people with me.
All right.
Like, I'm not like, this isn't you don't get to be the cool bouncer.
I leave, we all leave.
Yeah, I didn't say that. So I said, no, I have it. And I'm drunk. I pull out my gun card, my
there you
license,
go.
and then he goes,
which is a pretty good idea.
Which by the way, but I'm pulling it out like this to him, and he's like, no, man, back of the line, back of the fucking line. And I go, all right. I was like, come on, we're leaving. And he goes, no, they're staying, you're leaving. And I go, okay. And I looked at everyone, and you guys ready? And then everyone's like, all right. And then someone on my team was like, hey, he has an ID and he has a vaccination card. He just couldn't get it. He goes, no, he's not coming in. And then they're like, okay. So we all start leaving. And he goes, where's everyone going? and then
So where's everyone going? It's great.
His manager, the guy who runs the other bar, came out, saw us leave, and was like, where the fuck are you going?
Yeah.
I was like, I don't know. The guy's got a problem with me, and I don't want to deal with it.
Yeah.
And he goes, no. And so he walks over, he talks to the guy. He goes, come on, you're good. And I went, I don't want to do this.
I don't want to come back
I go,
in.
I fucked up. I fucked up twice. But and the guy goes, hey, Andrew, do you remember the dude outside that bar in San Francisco? He kept saying, I don't have a problem with this man. He's making this emotional. And I was like, do you remember he was yelling? And I was like, hey man, you're yelling at me. He goes, I'm not yelling. And it was so bad.
Yeah.
Do you remember that whiskey bar we went in San Francisco where I couldn't pull my ID out right? And I was like, I showed my gun card, and then and then
dox him.
By the way, and this poor guy, I felt so bad. I felt horrible, but he wouldn't let me apologize because I fucked up. And I was like, but he thought it was a miscommunication. And
I'm both.
And when we went in the next time, I showed him my right ID and my vaccination card, and I said, I'm really sorry. He goes, next. And I was like,
he's still at hard feelings.
Oh, he had.
You're like, do you want me to do the machine for you? And he's like, all right, you can do the machine for me right now.
Please tell the machine story.
Just 20 minutes at the door, everyone in the line is like, let us in.
That was a pointless story for me to tell, but regardless, I that frat boy brain has come out of me, but I'm so quick to defend it because I don't want to get caught on tape as a Karen,
man.
you know?
Of course, man. And those moments happen. And luckily it's, I go to therapy and I try to meditate now because I do think that like, it's just in my DNA. My dad used to lash out and just snap out of shit. My sister does that. And it's like, you can't be doing that. Sometimes you just have that moment where you're like, all right, this is not gonna look, you're having a weird day. Take a sec, come back in. But when I drink, I lose all sense of that.
Really?
I was that guy that I got punched in the face in college by a bouncer for acting up in San Jose. This place called Tres Gringos. And I don't think I could have sounded any wider saying that, but it's across the street from the San Jose Improv.
I've been to Tres Gringos.
Oh yeah, right next to. But
Gringos.
Dude, it's the San Jose Improv and then a bar across, and there's a train track. Right, but there's no railing, just a train track. And I'm drunk there, and the bouncer goes, "Can I talk to you outside real quick?" Now I'm gonna fucking talk to me in here, right? Thinking I'm smart with it. So talk to me in here.
By the way, you do the drunk frat boy.
No, talk to me in here, dude. Because like, here's the thing: it's $2 Tuesday night, and I got $20 in my wallet. I'm balling. I can buy 10 drinks, and that's big for me. And I'm like, no, talk to me here, talk to me here. And he goes, no, I just want to have a word with you outside. And look, I'm a year into comedy. I'm like, has this guy seen my shit? I'll talk to him outside. But he opens the back door and then he like leads me outside, and then he goes to like slam the door on me, like kick me out, just like smart. And then I grab the door when he slams it, and I open it, and the bouncer like flinches at me, right? And then I was like, what? And then he just clogged me right in my right eye. I had a cut on right over my eyebrow, and I was shocked because I didn't know that bouncers could do that, which is the whitest sentence. But I remember I hope this isn't out there, but I remember being so drunk. I'm walking back to the frat house by myself after I just got hit a little bit, and I call the bar and I leave him a voicemail. Like, your bouncer hit me. You can't do that.
I hope that's still out there. Oh
no, I don't even know if I called the right bar, but I mean it was. And now looking back, I'm like, yeah, I earned every bit of that. I wish he hit me a little harder, because if you've ever been hit when you're drunk, it's like your brain registers it, but you don't feel it. Your brain just goes, hey, you just got hit.
yeah.
And then you're kind of just like standing there spacey. And then he just closed the door. And it was, boy.
I had a solid 2-month period where I was problematic at bars.
Yeah.
And it was right after I got back from Russia. And I was probably in pretty good shape for me. Like,
Yeah.
I mean, like lifting weights. And I remember at times feeling very candidly that I have too much testosterone in my body than I think's healthy. I wasn't doing steroids or anything, but like thinking at times, like, I feel like I have a lot of testosterone right now.
Yeah.
And I just I'd really started drinking in Russia. And when I came back, I was really drinking, and I did a few regrettable things at bars, but that fighting was one of them. And
That was the first time that like somebody called my bluff. Cause I think there was other times where like a dude would bump into me at a bar when I was like 21, and I'd be like, what's up? You already fucking, you know, but that was the first time that my stupidity actually got me hurt. And yeah, I didn't slow down after that, but it was wild. And you know, I mean, dude, they could have gone on the tapes. There was nothing I could have done.
I love how you so cool. Talk to me inside.
No. Thinking I had the life hack. No, talk to me inside. You know, and I don't know what it is, but you drink, then you're just like, I need to yell at some people or something like that. Just stupid. I was a college student.
There's a sense of security, even being in San Jose, but like when I was in Tallahassee, of we are insulated. Nothing bad really happens to us here. What's the worst that could happen, as opposed to like, you get hit, you fall back, you crack your head, and you die, right? Whereas, like when I moved to New York, when I moved to New York, I was hyper aware of these. I'm done with my
real city.
I'm done with my shit talking.
Yeah, you're like, I can get clocked sober.
Yeah,
just walking down the street. Just
yeah.
So there is something about that, and I think I was also out with a bunch of my like frat bro friends. So like I felt safe, and I felt like it was college night at the bar. Who gives a fuck, right? And for whatever reason, I mean, it was just, you know, there was nights like that. And I look back on it now and like laugh, and I'm like, you know what? I got it all out. All drunk Trevor, just being like, woo, waking up, peed my bed a few times in college. And you're like, yeah, I did it. I did the damn thing. Not that I'm opposed to still having a good time and getting absolutely shit faced. I might do it tomorrow. The weather's 85 in February.
Yeah.
I live by the beach. Should we go get hammered tomorrow before the Super Bowl? Why not? But I like to just earn those drunks, you know, or else I get anxiety when I'm hungover, because everybody wants to be successful when you're hungover. Everybody's booking fucking commercials and Netflix shows, and you're just laying in bed. You're just Postmating nacho cheese. It's like a slippery slope. So for me, I'm like, I always want to be just like trying to work on what's next.
Here's the thing: is you're gonna be successful. That's not like that. I remember hearing someone say that to me, and I was like, "How the fuck would they know?" It's because they don't say it to everybody. Like you're going to be very successful.
Thanks, man. I hope.
No, you don't have to worry about it. The thing you have to worry about is, and I think you're on top of it, is not being that guy when you're young and on the come up. Being that guy that's
The too
cognizant.
cool guy?
No, like the guy who goes, "I'm not gonna get fucking wasted." You know, on my first, because I don't want to turn into that guy,
Right.
and just being this humble guy that lets it happen.
Yeah.
Because you're so fucking talented. I mean, you're
Thanks,
so
man.
fucking talented. And I mean, let me tell you, I think I'm pretty accurate in saying, what are you, 25?
I'm 29.
29?
Yeah.
There's not a lot of 29-year-olds doing theater tours.
Yeah, it's kind of nuts, man. I think there's some, like imposter syndrome, but I also feel like I'm like, man, I've been doing
We've all
comedy.
got imposter syndrome.
Yeah,
and that never goes away. And that
which is
never
good to
goes
hear.
away. I to this day, when people, this is why I don't read comments on Instagram or Twitter, is that when people go, you're nothing but an alcoholic who only has one good story, or you're nothing but a drunk that tells the same act every time you go on stage.
Yeah.
You believe it. And I know I obviously
Yeah,
clearly
you
I'm working on my 5th special. Like clearly I don't do that, but you're always going to go, when am I going to get found out for being a phony? Because I'm not very talented. I'm not very funny. I'm not very insightful. I know the guys that are like, I look at the guys that are killing it and I go, guy, fucking Sebastian, man, that guy's talented. Like I wish I had what he had, or Tommy or Joe or Bill, or these are the guys that are really fucking talented. Joey Diaz, like I wish I had what they had. And then you got and then you go like, at one point I'm gonna get found out as not being funny. Like someone's gonna be like, what? So what is like? And you just wait for that to happen. And the truth is, it's not real. It's in your head.
I don't know where all these. It's just like this, like snowball effect of like then this, then that, and then this, and that, and it's like none of this.
By the way, I just said that, and everyone listening is probably going, actually, they are a lot funnier than you, Bert. You're pretty fucking accurate, buddy. Like you just named a list of guys that are actually a lot funnier than you.
But are you?
But
Okay, Bert, Bert for sure.
Yeah, Bert Sebastian. But I just listed an actual list of names of guys that are legit funnier than me, and I said, I don't think it's imposter syndrome. I think it's called clarity.
But you start there and you work your way down.
Yeah, I don't know who I'm funnier than. But whatever.
What,
fuck it. I'm pretty good. Okay.
Go to a local open mic somewhere in Des Moines, and you'll be like, you know what? Maybe I'm onto something. I'm doing the damn thing. But I think it's like you're not starting every set or going on Instagram and be like, I'm the #1 comedian in the world.
Definitely not.
You're going, I'm Bert Kreischer, and whatever that means to me and the people that support me, I might be your #1, but I'm not the #1. I don't think I'm the funniest guy in the world. I think there's thousands and thousands of people funnier than me. But there are people who enjoy what I do, and to them, I might be the #1. That's all that really matters.
Yeah.
But if you're Kevin Hart and you're like, I'm selling out literally Kuwait, the whole place, then you can be like, I think I'm #1. But
I bet Kevin Hart still probably thinks he's got to think Chris Rock, Dave Chappelle.
Everybody always
like
says
you're
that.
gonna compare themselves. Like I listed a list of white guys.
Mhm.
I bet you. But you're right, man. It's like if you like what I do, then I can do that, and I can do that better next time with a little more insight because I'm doing it again.
But you're just doing what you know best, and I think that's really it,
Yeah.
But that's what I don't know. I'm just trying to just get better, just keep putting out video stuff and keep doing stand up and see where it leads to.
So what's your next thing? What's next for you? What do you want? Say what you want and put it out there.
Yeah, I would love to.
I let me tell you this in a small, because I've never let anyone finish a fucking sentence.
It's funny because I listen to you and Tom sometimes, and that's like all the comments.
Yeah,
you're the producer on that is one of the best laughs in the game.
Yeah, I agree.
I need that guy. I need that guy everywhere.
Yesterday, I was on some podcast. I was talking about my first deal, and I couldn't remember the woman's name. And then another executive hit me up and was like, "It's Lisa Berger," and just texted me random. And I went, "Oh, fuck, you listen to my podcast?"
Yeah.
So
it's crazy.
There are people that can make things happen that listen to this podcast, can take what you want and take it to the next. So put it in the universe. My wife's a believer in that. Put it in the fucking universe.
I believe in that too. I'm big on that. I'm big on karma. I would love to shoot a special and not have to put it somewhere I'm not happy. Not have to feel like I'm sacrificing and be like, it didn't get picked up anywhere. I guess we can just put it out here. I just want to put out a special that I can just be proud of and just, whether it gets great reviews, whatever reviews, just be like, this is what was funny to me and at the time, and I love doing it. And then I'd also just, I think the cliches answer is like, I want to make a movie, but I don't want to make a movie. I just want to keep creating shit with my friends and just see what kind of shit we can get from that. And then, maybe the next tour, get a bus and do something real cool with it and just kind of find a way to get innovative and see what ways stand-up and videos can combine the two and just see what we can really do with it. I love what I do right now. And that's kind of the hard part of like, what is your dreams? Because I'm kind of living it right now, which is kind of weird to say, but like, I would love to put out a special that I enjoy, but also I would love to just kind of keep making videos on a higher level. And then I would love some cool cameos and some cool shows or, whatever films and stuff. Cause I see people like that who do like a quick one-off. Dalia in Workaholics was like, he was in it for like one episode, but just like knocked it out of the park. So I'd love to do some shit like that.
Fucking dingers on that show.
So, it's just like, I'd love to just drop in on some shows, do some, here's me, do my thing, get out and just kind of just be everywhere. Just do everything.
That would be cool. You're a fucking guy that could be a home run cameo. You know who you remind me of the whole time I've been following you? The whole time you remind me of
Sebastian Maniscalco.
Just so much. Ben Schwartz. Is that the right name?
Ben Schwartz?
We have Ben Schwartz on the podcast, right?
Was he
Do you know who Ben Schwartz is?
Is he on Silicon Valley?
Yes. His partner in improv was on Silicon Valley. Yeah.
Yes.
Ben Schwartz is so talented. He's like you and him are very similar. You're very talented dudes who, when he slides into something, he fucking destroys it.
Gotcha.
Have you ever seen his? I mean, I take a look at some of his stuff tonight when you get a chance.
Yeah.
And just his cameos.
Yeah.
His cameos are fucking. By the way, it's a great play. It's a great goal to set for like your 2022 is. I want to get into some cameos. I want to do some cameos in some movies because you're so amazingly talented. So,
thanks, man. Yeah, I just want somebody to watch a video that I do and be like, that's the exact character we want in this, or your spin on it in this short film, this movie, this show. Because some of the stuff I auditioned for, I'm like, this isn't funny to me because I didn't come up with this character. I don't know what this character wants. I can try, but I want somebody to be like, yo, your fucking entrepreneur character, we need that and this,
Yeah.
And that's when it gets fun. But I just want to, I remember my first goal when I moved to Los Angeles is like, all I want to do is make videos in the day and do spots at night and then tour on the weekend. And I'm literally living that right now. So I'm like, where'd I go from there? How do I challenge myself next? And I think it's just to get better at what I'm doing. I think you can always be funnier. You can always work more, but I think it's really just that. I'm just like really, I sometimes pick my head up and I'm like, damn, I'm really doing what I wanted to do, which is kind of crazy.
Dude, you're killing it. And thank you for doing my podcast.
Of course, man.
This has been a blast.
Yeah, hell yeah,
I got to do your podcast now.
Please do. We're going to go do an episode right now.
But I think I can't wait to see what happens with you.
Thanks,
it's gonna
man.
fucking blow up in such a big level.
Thank you, man.
Awesome.
I appreciate it.
Well, thanks for doing it.
Of course, dude.